Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back as we are commencing the India Predator League 2024 once again with the second game of the day. We've got True Rippers going up against Reckoning Esports for our second game of the day, which is going to be giving us our second upper bracket finalist who will be facing off against Orangutan in a match to come further on. I'm Universe, and with me I've got Anna, and we're going to take you through this next best of three as well. And we are really excited for this one because this is probably going to be a lot more competitive than the previous best of three. So, do you agree?
I do. I really feel like this is going to be super cutthroat, and we're definitely going on to the third map all through because this one is going to be super competitive, as you just mentioned. And both the teams, they have a lot to lose and a lot to gain as well. So this is going to be one last shot for all of them.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Let's have a look at, of course, their logos once before we do go into the veto. As Reckoning, who, of course, did have quite the outstanding, resilience against Metal Esports to win that one out. But we are now starting off on Breeze. And now this is going to be the first time that I am seeing this map in a competitive takeout because I have not seen Breeze after the change in any sort of competitive capacity. And for us to start out on this and then go to Bind and then maybe end on Lotus, this is quite the, I would say, map veto here.
Yeah, I mean, all of the staple maps have already been taken out. We don't see Haven in there. We don't see Ascent. We don't see Split. Like, these three maps are most picked maps whenever it comes to competitive games. But then this time
Mm-hmm.
around, we are seeing a completely different pool. Lotus does get picked a little bit more often in comparison. But yeah, I mean, starting off on Breeze itself, that's nice. I'm interested.
Yep, pretty much so. Of course, the last time we saw, it was Bind and Lotus, where True Rippers absolutely thrashed Aster Army, if I have to say, because the first game that they played was, of course, on Bind. Their first half was, pretty competitive, but on the second half, they absolutely tore through their opponents, and pretty much the similar, status on the Lotus map that they played as well. First half was 7-5, and then they absolutely tore them, gave them only one round across the entire of second half. So Troopers are coming off some pretty great form, I would say. But of course, Astro Army is a team that does not give as much of a test in the recent past as Reckoning Esports has, because Reckoning Esports, they did play quite the, like I mentioned, long-standing game, 22-20 in Bind against Metal Esports. They're really persistent about that map. They love their Bind. And then we've got the 13-11 on Ascent and 13-10 on Sunset, which, by the way, all three of these, forgive me, only Bind is the only map that we will be ending up seeing today. Breeze is a first. We've not seen it anywhere yet. So this is going to be a first. So if your friends are wondering how Breeze looks uncompetitive, and if they're not watching the stream right now, you might want to go ahead and call them and tell them to come over and have a look at what is Breeze going to be looking like with True Ripper is picking it, because I believe they will have a pretty interesting composition, given that Breeze, of course, has quite a lot of changes now. It's become a lot more defender friendly. What do you have to say about the changes? On, I'm pretty sure you must have had quite the shocker after seeing all the changes.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did feel like Breeze was very one sided when it came to, actually playing it out. But then once the changes rolled in, it did seem
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot more that the defenders can actually bring into the game going forward. However, I still feel like being on the defense and not being able to build up the economy is gonna hurt a lot, specifically on a map like
Mm-hmm.
Breeze, because in other maps we generally are able to get away with using weaker weaponry, mostly going with shotguns because there are entry points which can be dealt with. But on Breeze
Yep.
specifically, you need to have long range weapons, even on the defensive side, necessarily. So that's gonna be hurtful. So you definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to make sure that from the go itself, if you're on the defensive side, you are building up economy constantly and probably
Yep.
following the half shield meta as well.
Yeah, of course, Breeze historically, since it's been introduced, has always been a long range duel map. Everybody who loves taking their duels and is an aim god absolutely love Breeze, and we've got a couple of those on True Rippers as well. Of course, Deathmaker being one of them. and
Yep.
Helef, of course, being there as well, who was a mastermind on Breeze back when he was on Velocity Gaming. Used to have quite the outstanding performances with him on the Viper sometimes, with him on the Cypher sometimes. He's done quite the job. And Deathmaker, of course, is going to be continuing to be on this roster as the primary duelist. I'm excited to see what he brings. Or is it going to be Disrupt who actually takes it up, or Deathmaker picks up the Chamber, which, by the way, has been quite the ecstatic takeaway. But I'm pretty sure that Cypher is a must-need on this map. Killjoy can... it's a little confusing to have a Killjoy on this map, but either way, we will have a look at the agent select just as I talk about it. Let's see what the compositions of the new Breeze are going to be.
Well, we are seeing Reckoning going for the Cypher pick as you were expecting, and same can be said for True Rippers. I was hoping to see Vibhor on the Viper. I mean, he generally does go in for the initiator role, but I have liked Vibhor on Viper more than Techno Too Cold. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this is going to turn out, but I feel like this is going to be still as easy for them as they were expecting. That swap is not really going to change much, but hopefully Disrupt will go for a duelist again. Like I want to see double duelist coming in here.
It seems highly unlikely that he's going to pick up that duelist, because they would want another initiator to kind of give them information, because it's such a huge map, of course.
True
So
that.
I'm expecting, I hope it's not the KO, because again, that's a new agent what that we've not seen before. So having this KO might be a little bit, I want to say, disruptive, but we'll have a look. If at all he changes his pick at the last second, he's still hovering over it. And if they actually go with this, then of course they've got some game plan. Yeah, all right, the KO is going to be a part of this. On the other end, it's pretty much standard, simple double initiator with the Sova and Sky. We've got of course, Cypher in there as well. I'm not quite sure how familiarized are RGE with this map. Are they having any good scrims on this? Have they got any practice behind it? It is a question mark, of course, but all of that doesn't matter right now, because they have to play this map, and True Rippers
Yes.
are the ones to select it up. Like I mentioned as well, it is quite the defender-friendly map, especially towards A main, where they've shut off an entire region. You go up towards tunnels as well. It is also shut off. So those are two big regions that have been, basically, I want to say they've been made into a singularity. As if even if you look at the map as well, right? That usually that tunnel region where you always get those lurks
Mm-hmm.
coming in is now
Yep.
completely unavailable. You can see through it, yes, but now
Yeah.
there's no point of seeing through it, because you will be taking practically the most unnecessary fight you could ever take in Valorant on any map. So nobody's
True
probably
that.
even go there unless you have a solo who wants to drone out. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Breeze for the first time as True Rippers start off on the attack.
Well, True Rippers are completely determined to move into Site B. It's a full 5 stack trying to move in.
Oh,
And
wow.
this has not worked out. Through the smoke and the wall, Caramel finds his first frag, making it difficult for True Rippers to hold any ground inside Site. Now even the spike has been dropped.
Yep. Spike has been dropped, but it's pretty retrievable. I'm pretty sure he... Oh, never mind. Caramel's got his eye on it. But now they're hoping for a pick or two, if possible. RGE have completely surrounded them at this point. They are stuck in this B side on... Oh, Fox! He finds Vapor's barrel and he shoots him down, but he doesn't expect the other one on the right. Techno, though, instantly traded off. Harsh. Now, Hellas left alone. He's stuck in that corner. He does have the spike in his hands, but he does not have his life in his hands, because Caramel will be taking it from him, as he will be absolutely torn apart. Reckoning will stop this True Ripper's attack coming on B, which started off with kind of Deathmaker not getting any support. Nobody destroyed that tripwire for him, or even he himself didn't actually go to destroy it. I don't know why. He was stuck there for quite some time.
Yeah, I mean, being able to deal with all of the Cypher utilities is gonna be super important and crucial, because once you're tagged, it's kind of difficult to just focus on the fight while also dealing with the whole situation. It's even worse than being tagged by a owl drone. It's basically put up as a kill trip. But well, this time around, we are seeing a change coming in from the side of True Rippers. They are not interested in Site B anymore, while Reckoning has actually left the complete site empty as of now. There is a lot of
And
information that Helef can
Spike
gather,
down
but
mid.
he is losing teammates in the process, and that is going to be hurtful.
a bit of damage. Fox actually manages to get away there, and ANQ stops him from being chased as Helef will be taken out. And RGE in complete control of this anti-eco,
One
not losing
enemy
any
remaining.
players at all,
Spike
unless
down B.
we see something out of the last player standing.
Watching this spot.
Viper, the spike is pretty far away from him. Techno needs maybe the 1 kill. Would be really good for him, but he's being watched by Harsh in a pretty good angle as well. And he's
30
gonna lurk
seconds
up to
left.
his death in about 3, 2, 1, and there it is. Harsh to finish it off. Reckoning Esports, a pretty good read from them. They knew that the mid hit is gonna come on this eco, so they definitely must have understood what the problem was gonna be caused by True Rippers, and the counters were pretty well established as well.
Well, yes, Reckoning has definitely got a read on to True Rippers on this one, but they will have to be super prepared because, again, Breeze is not a map that any team forces you to prepare on unless it's True Rippers, specifically not in this tournament. So, True Rippers being in this position can actually, come up with a lot of new stuff round after round, and that can put Reckoning in a very difficult situation. They have to be careful, and they have to maintain the lead that they have already acquired. This is going to be a more difficult round to acquire, but then Reckoning, not having lost players in the last one, can actually run on a complete bonus and have enough economy to go forward with in the next one.
Yep. Deathmaker is caught up pretty high into mid. And he's going to be coming back just as we speak about it. He does have his dash still available. And Disrupt might get taken out here. And he had absolutely nobody around him. I'm not quite sure why that is, but that's a free kill and a free Vandal as well. ANQ is going to use that to the best of his abilities. Harsh has been spotted. He's been tacked up just about a touch, but ANQ will be taken out. Harsh with the more skill with a tag onto DM as well, but DM is absolutely unstoppable at the moment. Dashes back into the side to cover for his teammates, but look at that position of Fox. He gets the Vandal as well. He might be low, but he's got the clutch potential in him. It's a 2 versus 2. And Karamel's coming in from doors as well.
Well, a lot of information has already been given up. Helef, however, unable to fight it, will actually make a possibility for Fox to take a frag off of
One enemy remaining.
moving in. Caramel will get taken down, and Techno to hold. Now looking forward to for Fox. Gets another one. Closes the round.
Great bit of movement there from Helef and Techno to instantly make that decision to actually move in, but this was actually Deathmaker's round. He found his first one. He got tagged up, but still was able to get the second one as well, because Harsh missed a shot onto the head. And the third was even better as he found Voya and Techno to finish it up. They went through that Viper's wall. Good decision from them to make sure that they swing out together so that even if one died, the other would get the trade, but both of them survive. And now we head into round number 4. And once again, a mid push coming in, it seems, from the defense. It has been stopped for the moment. Harsh will get taken back. And DM allowed a little bit of wiggle room. How far can he push this once again? Last time, he went all the way towards time, and this time, Voya might actually go ahead and challenge him. Now, it's going to be the drone, but ANQ, he shuts down Vapor towards A main, and that's a big kill.
Yup, having lost one of the initiators is definitely gonna hurt quite a bit. But coming in from the side of True Rippers, DM King will make sure that the numbers at least stay balanced. The utility, however, will be better for the side of Reckoning, and Voya finding DM King will make the numbers roll in the favor as well. Reckoning doing good so far.
Yep, Helef gets lucky with not getting detected there, and that's actually caused a rotation to go away. You can see that Voya He's making his way towards mid once again, and it's just Caramel here. And he's got a good tripwire setup, of course. It cannot be broken without any sort of utility or actually running straight through it.
30
Techno,
seconds left.
out goes his wall. This should be a B hit pretty convincingly. And there it is. It get tagged up again, and nobody's able to destroy that damn tripwire. Caramel making great use of his kit here. He spots out Techno going to the site as well. His camera's been taken out, but he's still lurking around. And he will get that kill. Caramel, the hero of this round for his team, as Helef could only manage to get up 2 as he gets flanked pretty quickly. Reckoning will find their third on the back of a little bit of extra patience that pays off in the right direction.
Caramel has been a complete nuisance for the side of True Rippers this time, because True Rippers, the tripwires are literally inviting them into the face of death, and they are walking right in every single time repeatedly. They have to be very cautious of Caramel utilities, or maybe try and find his frag before they are able to step into those utilities, which is kind of not possible because he's playing behind those anyways. So this is going to be crucial that they use some of their abilities to actually go ahead and knock that utility out before they march into a site.
Yep. Helef, he does have his neural theft. He might just be hoping for a pick cure there so he can just go in and throw in his hat. But on the other end, it's available as well. And now True Rippers, they've got Disrupt on the null command, and it seems likely that this is going to be used. Deathmaker has been left in mid to maybe come off on that towards from mid. He's pretty adamant about finding that pick. He's ready for that mid fight. The flash goes in to not detect him. I'm not quite sure if it detected him or not, but here we go. The null command should be coming in just about a second, but Foxy actually gets one from a higher position, and it's on to Caramel. He dodges that recon, as now he will have perfect timing, and he sprays down 2. Blindsided, but it works out.
Caramel in a beautiful gameplay for his team. The guy is literally carrying the weight all by himself as of now. It seems like it's hardly gonna be any more time before Caramel is back again with another neural theft, again giving way too much information to the team.
I am a little confused about what exactly is the game plan from True Rippers there, because they have the null command. I'm not quite sure why that wasn't used to gain entry, to disable all utility from the opponents and actually make them a little fearful of taking those fights. But they just stood there and took it all in. I'm not understanding why that wasn't used. It could have been a round-winning ultimate for sure, at least for them to get into post plan and let Deathmaker have his lurk be a successful one from mid. But hey, it was a decision that was taken, and RU's called in for the timeout to tell his team, look guys, this might just be the problem. You should have used that ultimate and you didn't. And now we do have True Rippers on that eco, and the plan is yet to be unfolded. What is the reason for the pick on this Breeze map? We are yet to see.
Well, this is going to be a crucial round for True Rippers nonetheless, and now that the timeout has already been called and they have a little bit of regrouping, rethinking done already, hopefully they will be able to squeeze this one in, because if they lose this, they are going to be finding themselves on 6-1 scoreline soon enough, because they won't have enough economy for the next round. This is looking slightly difficult though. I'm seeing a lot of stalemate situation coming in. True Rippers are not trying to make any aggressive moves. But the problem here is, the more time they wait around, if they do not find frags, which they won't because Reckoning is very concealed with their plans, they will fall to the Cypher utilities once again, because those Cypher utilities are hard to take care of if you move in at the last few seconds. I don't see True Rippers winning this one, unless they have something completely mind-boggling. Maybe they create huge chaos inside the site.
Well, it would require quite the distraction. Cramel's got his eyes ready here, and he's been disabled now. Here it comes the ultimate for a different round. But it is going to be important. They flush out ANQ from that angle, but he still manages to find one. Vivoya shut down True Ripper's Helif as well, as Harsh finds a third. They're going to try and revive him, but Deathmaker, he needs to find a first kill, and he does. He is now clear, but look at that shot from Deathmaker! What a kill!
Oh,
I'm not quite sure how he found that, but the rest of his teammates have just fallen through. And now it's just Vibor up against Goya, and Vibor wins out the clutch. What a kill from him as well. The confidence on this man to swing that out and take the fight head off. But True Ripper is honestly, they got granted a life here because they were real close to losing this round after the 3 kills that came their way, went against their way.
exactly. If and only if this, I mean, the only reason this
Wow.
was possible is because of DM King. He had some crisp shots into this round, and if those did not happen, it would have been very, very difficult. Also, the timing kind of messed up from the side of Reckoning Esports. They could have gotten Vibhor before he even could get his weapon back up after the plant, but they kind of slowed down. It was a 1v1, so the fear is understandable. But yeah, True Rippers managed a round that they really badly needed. And with that, they are going to find a little bit more footing into this round specifically. Or this could
Yeah.
have been another free victory for Reckoning.
Deploying drone.
Finally, they're gonna make sure. Please, please, please take out that tripwire. They're not actually doing it. They tagged the Soa. They know where he is, and they know the Cypher's around the corner as well. And that tripwire has been dealt with. There we go. That's just a bit of a fake though, because the spike currently is outside of A, and they just want to give out as much information as possible towards B, so that the rotations are called in. But nothing too crazy because they know that the operator is still sitting on A, so they're not worried because A and Q, he can just take a kill and absolutely vanish from that spot. As True Rippers now, they've got quite the task ahead of them. Fox, first point of contact, he spots out and he gets double sprayed. He will move back instantly. Knife comes in, ANQ goes out, the Hunter's Fury as well. Ella finds the first frag, the most important one as well, as the ultimate comes in, and Deathmaker will go down to Harsh's Phantom as ANQ gets another. Helif getting a little too aggressive. What are you doing, True Rippers? Why? Why are you giving them fights that they will win pretty willingly? They will take it as well. 4 versus 2. This retake is highly almost complete unless some miracle happens.
One enemy remaining.
Oh no. Whoa, okay. Alright. Nobody saw that. We did not witness that happening. But well, in any case, Reckoning will get the round. True Rippers, I'm kind of disappointed on the timing of the ultimates. I mean, there was a Hunter's Fury coming in, and I hoped that the Neural Theft was deployed before it, because by the time it was put up, there was very little time left for True Rippers to actually capitalize on that Hunter's Fury, and they did not really manage much out of it. It could have actually cost, given them a few frags for free, but now look at them again on a broken bite.
Yeah, most certainly it was. I did not understand the point of Helif and Disrupt taking out that fight, going so wide when he knows he's got the operator. He has the better chance of winning that duel with no utility. There were no flashes, nothing. Helif had to never swing that. If he hadn't, he probably wouldn't have Disrupt do it as well. They went in one by one, and True Rippers, now they rush into the B A side, forgive me, and they have a Viper Spit. It's quite the commitment given their weaponry, but it's quite a good... No, actually it isn't. It's covered off such low ground. I'm not quite sure how that's happened, but it's happened. And now they're going to try and focus on the players who are not in the pit. They know where Helif is, and they can just hold him there for as long as possible. The ball saves him for a bit, unless Fox wants to swing this angle.
Fox is ready for another one, but he won't get it. Helif gets a double for himself though. And now this situation has turned tables all the way. True Rippers finally looking like they know what they want to do here. Already suppressing Goya, they know he's in the vicinity, but they don't have to walk out of the Viper's pit just yet. Oh,
yeah, but they will have to in the end. I mean, it's okay. It's just a couple of exit frags because they already had quite a bit of their economy stabilized, right? And Disrupt, he's picked up the operator from the previous round. So that's a big thing to give on to the hands of Deathmaker, who knows how to use it pretty well given his experience. But overall, True Rippers, a pretty good round from them, even though the Viper Spit wasn't actually up to the mark. I think it kind of was, misplaced. Not from Techno, of course. I think it's just a game that, certain angles it works out, certain angles it doesn't. But here we are with a 5-3. Good eco round from them to win it out. And now they try their trials once again towards B, but the mid region has been opened up by ANQ, and that's a big frag. They get away, and now the backlines are gonna be vulnerable. And Reckoning could potentially go on a flank if they want to.
Well, True Rippers will have to keep watching the back of their shoulders constantly. They cannot really be relieved anymore. As you mentioned, it was a very crucial frag that got taken away. ANQ already making a lot of mark, and now we were already talking about how good Operator and DM King combination is, but this time around he's been missing shots. Maybe he just wants to create some fear, but I feel like Reckoning, knowing this is coming, will certainly stay very concealed into corners, forcing for closer combat, which is kind of hard on a map like Breeze. But then look at the position on Caramel. He can actually hold off the entry of DM King if he decides to go towards side B, which he does not. They are all moving towards side A
30
and
seconds
probably
left.
gonna commit to it.
Revealing area.
In the meanwhile, though,
Boy.
yeah, it's very slow and steady. But then again, the entry is gonna be kinda difficult. This time they don't have the Viper Spit, which made them win the last time around, but
10
Reckoning
seconds
does.
Dart.
Yep.
Spike
A
planted.
bit of disruption there. Harsh, though, he finds disrupt, and that's going to be huge. As now they make it easier. Fall 5 versus 3, forgive me. Harsh needs a little bit more, but there's a flank coming in, and DM is not ready for it. Techno will find one, Vipor one as well, but in the end, it is going to be Reckoning with more numbers on their head than True Rippers can handle, and that's going to be round number 6. As Reckoning have actually, been pretty consistently good on this map of Breeze. They're taking so many good fights, and to be honest, True Rippers are giving it to them, and RGE are doing honestly nothing special. It's just been them playing on the back of, taking a little bit control, going for the first pick on the back of A and Q. If it works out, which it has for about 75% of the times, it will end up giving them the advantage. And True Rippers, their entire plan just crumbles into pieces because they usually think, okay, you know what, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and then the minute they lose one player, they're like, okay, now we're gonna need to back up and think about this again. And that's the point in which RGE, they kind of slip their knife in between the bones and they make it hurt where it absolutely is the most painful.
True that. Reckoning is making sure that they do exploit every single loss that True Rippers is facing and make it actually pain. True Rippers unable to make on-the-fly thinking possible, specifically in this condition against Reckoning. Deep down in the dust. Oh well, the first few fights will go towards the favor of Reckoning again, and with this numbers advantage, they can actually change things around. Because all that's left is the initiators and the controller.
Oh, Techno, he gets support from Vibora, and they both finish off Fox, and this is actually gonna be a doable round. ANQ, who he gets away actually, picks up the Vandal for a better purpose, and that's good. He might just be able to do this. He just needs to make a little bit of noise for Harsh to come in. He could take out Vibora here. He knows he's got a tail. And it comes in from behind. What a kill from him, and ANQ! Makes it absolutely doable. Harsh now can actually go in for this defuse half, but he's waiting for Disrupt to come to him. Time is not his friend, and it's gonna be practically over. The round is gone. Now he's just fighting for the kill. He will not find that either. Disrupt with the round-winning clutch here, as he finds 3, but ANQ for a moment there, he made it absolutely look like this was Reckonings from the beginning.
That fight was not supposed to be won by ANQ. Not one, but he literally killed both the players out there. They were literally in a crossfire position. They could have had one player swing while the other was being attacked, but that did not happen. And even when they swung, they could not make their shots connect. With some blessing from heaven, ANQ was able to squeeze both those kills in, make it look like there was still a standing for Reckoning to make it through. But then again, the last fight just did not work out because of the clock ticking so fast against them. But this time out, hopefully they will come back slightly stronger, because then again, after having such a strong start, if you do not walk into the second half with an advantage, that's kinda sad.
Yeah, honestly, True Rippers are playing better with just their pistols. It seems they've got more conviction to not push in when they've got, secondary weapons. And that's kind of ironic because on their attack, when they have better weapons, they tend to kind of go in aggressive and lose their fights, which is really, really interesting given that that's usually what people do during the pistol rounds, or forgive me, their eco rounds. And now they're heading in towards A with all of their might and entire 5-man roster as the knife is going to push Harsh back. He knows he can play this a little bit safe because he's got his ultimate online. The drone goes in. He spots out Harsh. He knows where they are. And he's going to just play the safe because he does have a Guardian. It's not the most ideal weapon, but it is a weapon that can give him quite a bit of a frag movie. 200 Fury released on either side. Harsh might just get taken out here. He's got pressure coming on him, and Troopers are making good pressure now as they realize that they should be taking these fights on the basis of information, and information is what they shall be granted. 4 versus 4. True Rippers still have one big ultimate to use that no command could entirely disable this retake.
This is not gonna be easy for either side. But let me change my statement, because ANQ is still alive and we've seen him change everything constantly. However, time is still gonna be of the essence here. Frag after frag. True Rippers are being knocked into the ground. They will have enough time to go ahead for the defuse, and Reckoning will bring one more round home. Finally, in a safe spot where they can believe wholeheartedly that they're going to walk into the second half with an advantage.
Last round before the switch.
And with wiggle room to play with.
Oh boy. It is a little bit of a problem the way that the round ended. Disrupt was in such an open position. He was tagged as well. He couldn't even get out of there, and neither could his teammates actually help him out. He was just kept there to die, it seems. And it's so wrong to have left him there in that position. And Reckoning on the back of that round have now found an advantage on their hands. Harsh, he's not been checked here. He finally gets a kill. He's got more, but DM takes him out. The revival will come in as they find the KO back on his feet, but Karamo, he's constantly pushing the buttons of these players on True Rippers. Helif will take out A and Q, but it's still a 3 versus 3. The Hero Theft goes in, and they're gonna get information now, and they know one's still towards mid. The Seekers follow them up as well, and Deathmaker is in such a difficult position now. He cannot get away from here.
Spike down A.
Well, he did
One
get away,
enemy
but
remaining.
back into the lobby is where he's ended up. Well, in this 3v1, there is no opportunity for Disrupt. And with the 4 frag coming in from the side of Caramel,
Switching
we will see True Rippers being paused at 4 scoreline in the first half.
Oh boy. Reckoning
Such a nice
Esports.
execution. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. 8-4, great advantage on defense, but of course, like we mentioned earlier, this has been
Right here.
a pretty defensively modified map now, because Riot want to see a bit of change in the way this is played, and Reckoning seem to have a bit of an execute here. 4 mid, 1 towards A. Could be an interesting split. That Recon's probably going to land right next to the middle area of the doors, and it's probably going to detect whoever is going to try and peek there. Let's see where it actually ends up. A flash, no information, but Disrupt actually does it. He's gonna flash his own. Out it pops, and he's gonna deny quite a bit. No! They actually get everything. Techno take on Fox, but that's about it. The Recon's cleared off the site as well. And that's a good, actually, push from Reckoning. It's a 4 versus 4. DM makes it a little bit easier for his team as he comes in for the flank. And now he's angry. He wants these kills, and he's going for them. But look at ANQ. He's not been found. And he gets the kills. One, make it two. No, Karamo would pick it up.
Player
2 versus
standing.
2, and
One
Voya,
enemy
he
remaining.
gets one more, and it's a 1 versus 1. Helef against Voya, and Voya wins it in the end. He's got the better pistol, of course. More damage equals to more kills. Reckoning with the 9th on the board, and this game seemingly might just run away from True Rippers on their own map pick.
It might very well, and if that happens, True Rippers will not be in a very good position on the second map either, because that's not even their own pick. This is their home ground. This is where they wanted to play. This was their choice. And losing on this, that too with such a huge margin, will hurt a lot. And coming back from that
Standing ahead.
will be super difficult. However, this time around, we do know for sure that it's going to be a 10-4, because having that weaponry advantage will put Reckoning in a very obvious winning position. But then again, it's True Rippers, and the 4 rounds they have gotten, 2 out of them have been pistol rounds. So, you never know.
Yeah, oh, that's a great shot right, and this might just finish off Disrupt. He will lose his life! Oh. No, he won't. Techno's gonna take out Voya before that. A bit of a knife exchange here, but it's still in the hands of... Disrupt. He wants to push in maybe. On the other end, the attackers have taken in B. They all go in as a team, and this is exactly what it's supposed to be. All of them going on a flank here. And ANQ, he's probably going to hear all of this. The call is definitely being made. He knows that there's somebody coming his way. Oh, the timing is ultimately bad there, but he will still get a kill. He's got one more coming his way. He takes him out as well. And he checks for his backstab, but he will not be able to cover him up. Harsh covers him up, so as ANQ finds 4 sitting in that window position. And the RGE teamwork continues to shine in the bright light of Breeze.
I cannot believe what I just saw. I mean, ANQ was supposed to die. Harsh just arriving right on time, making sure ANQ survives. The moment he hears bullets coming in from behind, he dashes right in and then comes back ready for the fight and wins it. Beautifully done. Beautiful.
Well, RGE once again expressing their concerns towards B, and ANQ spots out one. He gets another one, not the one he actually spots, and Helef is going to punish them. He finds 2, but Harsh instant to the trade. He makes him pay, and that's going to be a 3 versus 3. The board does have a drone, but he's got to wait for his teammates to come in and join him, because only then is this drone going to actually give them any value. He covers off on the site. He's actually not taking the cubby corner. He spots them both. He spotted 2, and there goes a shock dart. Walls come in, and Voya will be absolutely fried to death as True Rippers make this a 3 versus 2.
Well, they have acquired numbers advantage, but they are still fighting time, and the timing on RGE players has been good enough. But can they hold this off? Oh, using 0 point, the abilities have been nullified. No more flashes to use anymore. And that 0 point changes the game around. Gives way too much confidence for True Rippers to go in for the fights. Because they knew no more flashes can come into the play. No more utility can be dropped. No more mollies can be used to delay the defusal. And they just knew this was winnable. Beautifully done from the side of True Rippers. That 0 point changed everything.
Yep. I mean, they already got the initial confidence after taking out Voya from that corner. They fished him and fried him. And the minute they found that, they knew that the players are on the back side because they spotted them both there. And there was nothing much they could do. A great aggressive knife there from Disrupt, as he actually gets no information because Voya, he does it pretty much cleanly. Mid is quite the region for Reckoning, it seems, as they've taken up quite the space here. Vibor is going to send out the drone for practically nothing as it spots out nobody. Disrupt's actually checking out Voya towards A main. They went in for a push together, Disrupt and Techno, and they find the result on the back of it. RGE instantly changing their movements towards B. They've got a Cypher and Sova to deal with. But if somebody decides to lurk up towards that high mid position on Heaven, it could change the game. Instantly, you see, once the bullet is fired, Deathmaker is making his way back. One bullet was all that's needed to call him to the other side.
Here.
And now, he's got A and Q on the other end of this. This Jet might just decide this round. A bit of exchange of bullets, but no damage given. Hella finds Caramel on the other side. And this B side is going to be pressured. Whipmore holds it off, and that's going to be A and Q and Fox trading it up.
Well, the scenario has come down to a 3v2. DM King, though, ready for the first. ANQ on very little HP, does not have a lot to hope for. With those bullets, he's also given up his position. Will get taken down here by Techno Too Cold. And the 6th round for True Rippers will start to show.
Boy, oh boy, this is going to be quite the comeback if True Rippers continue playing like this. 8-4 down. They were actually 10-4 down. And they've won these 2 rounds pretty convincingly. True Rippers have got what it takes to keep on building forward. They did choose this map for a reason, and it might just be defense. A&Q wants to go in with his knife towards mid. A bit of aggression shown early here. No peeks given to him just yet.
They do know this player is one not to be messed with.
Ooh.
Before already he soaked in a little bit of damage. But well, it's not gonna bother him much. Everyone from the side of True Rippers, they're waiting for the fights to come to them. They're not initiating any. So it's fine to lose a little bit of HP as long as you're staying alive and providing the utility to the team that is required. Techno Too Cold might get A and Q, but the timing! The timing!
Oh, he actually gets covered up. And Hirsch finds another as well. Disrupt tries to get away, but he was so darn low that the snake bite eats him up. And that's going to be a 4 versus 3. Reckoning somehow make this absolutely doable. A&Q once again in such a ravenous position. He's going to be in trouble here if he doesn't get the 1. And he will be checked for sure. And yes, he does. Before he goes, he does deliver a little bit of damage to Helif, but it's a 3v3. Now they've got information about where these two players are as well. Lineups for the rescue, it seems. Parabo's going to be the one to fight. He will lose this fight. And Goya, he needs to win this, and he will. Out come the snake bite, but is it going to be enough? Hell, he gets away with more time. He's actually diffused it half, and he might just be able to do it. He's going to try and stick it off. And now they swing, and they take him out. 11-6. Reckoning. Once again, patience is the virtue of the gods, they say, and they will make the best use of it.
Beautifully done by Reckoning. This was not supposed to be a round, to be honest. But well, they did come back in. Beautifully nonetheless. True Rippers off to a timeout. Definitely should be. This was their pick. This was supposed to be their victory. Reckoning is literally 2 steps away from taking this home. The first map, if Reckoning win it, second will be way more difficult for True Rippers to come into. I want to go to the third map on this one. We haven't had 3 maps today yet.
Yeah, true. Absolutely. And this timeout from True Rippers is going to give them quite a bit of thinking to do because they are in a bit of a pickle now. Their economy might be a little bit on the edge. I think they should be able to buy in considerably with maybe half armors, but there needs to be a strategy in place here that could actually give them a little bit of a stability, and that being the fact that maybe they need to go on a little bit of aggression here. The operator, which is going to be their biggest, winning factor, has not yet been utilized. Deathmaker, it has not gotten his hands, and because of the fact of which we saw, of course, the impact from A&Q. On his defensive half, A&Q's operator, so good, right? He was able to frag out, get an entry point, anywhere, and that is just not available for Deathmaker because his economy has just not been stable enough. Now they're taking a little bit towards mid. Look at that. 4 men towards mid. A Hunter's here towards A, which might be a bit of a distraction because they just want to sell this fake out. The tripwire, by the way, has been heard. I'm pretty sure Helif heard that. And that's exactly why he's looking towards B. They know this is a B hit. Helif is spotting all of this out. And that is going to be Reckoning taking control of the other side of the map.
Well, there's a lot of damage that Fox has soaked into that fight. But A&Q is prepared for the next one. Fox being this guy is definitely not going to be able to heal himself back
Ooh.
up. But RGE Voya pretty amazingly dealing with all the damage that was coming in their way. 2v2 post-plan scenario. Already kind of difficult for the side of True
Player
Rippers.
standing.
But now with numbers in advantage, they can actually make this work. Voya, Vibhor did not even spot him.
Last player
Voya needs to be aware of this one.
Oh!
He gets both of them. He gets 4 in total and finds the team on the match point. How?
Match point.
Voya played that to perfection. The first initial bit of distraction from his Hunter's Fury and utility towards A. The patience to find the 2 kills on mid when Vibhor smothered RGE with that Hunter's Fury himself with 2 kills that he got. And then the Russian from mid to make in towards B, and he played that to perfection, making sure that the defuser was the first person to be killed, and then finds the follow-up as well. Quite the play from Voya there, as he now would lead his team towards the A side. Karamo finds Disrupt, and this might just be the end of this game. Techno's trade-in comes off, but Deathmaker's feeling a little bit more.
Whoa.
He gets another, and Hellup covers up for him, as Reckoning might have to fight for another round to finish this game. As Voya, the last man left standing.
Oh, no.
He's got 2 again, but no more.
Cage triggered.
Cannot win every single fight, my man. He would if he could have, but unfortunately too many members to shoot upon. And Reckoning will watch Troopers get the 7th. And that was quite the round. The aggression came in as a reactionary clause to them having taken doors. And that was good from Troopers. We need to see this a little bit more earlier, though.
This goes here.
True that. From here, it's already a long way in. Like, one single mistake and they can put Reckoning onto a victory of the map. While they need 5 more rounds to push this onto an overtime. Let's see how this will unfold, because the last time around as well, it did go pretty close. But True Rippers were able to swing completely onto Voya and make that last strike come in. Oh, Fox has taken way too much damage, and Fox being the one soaking all of that is sad, because he's this guy, he cannot heal himself. Voya though, making even by taking that frag onto Deathmaker.
Well, Karamo, he's trying to maybe get a little bit of a lurk come in. Before he's gonna try to deny that B main take with the recon, and that's information. Fox will most likely be taken down here, but actually he gets one before he goes down himself. 1 by 1, the trades are coming in. It's a 2 versus 2, and now Hellup, he needs to work this, and he gets the most important kill, but he's still got another player in front of him. Voya, he will win the fight, and that's gonna be it. The Clutch Master strikes again with the 3rd in this round, as we will head further into this best of 3 with RGE taking the step ahead. Quite the round once again from RGE as they find themselves in a 2 versus 2. The Viper's taken out, but Voya says, nah man, it's all cool. I got this right in the bag. The clutch comes in, doesn't matter how much HP he's got. Breeze, quite a beating for True Rippers here. After this being their map pick, I expected them to do a lot better.
Exactly. I mean, they did start showing up, but that was too late into the game. By then, everything was already done and dusted for the side of Reckoning Esports. I cannot believe how amazingly Voya has played on this one. He has literally carried a lot of weight for the team. Did show up on all the times when the team needed him. And the same can be said also for Caramel. Like, these 2 players have been completely amazing. And Q, we already expected him to show up, because, like, Jet, come on.
Yep, absolutely. Agreed. And on the back of which now Reckoning have got quite the confidence as well, because they were probably thinking, you know what, this game could go a little bit further in terms of play, because maybe True Rippers are coming into this with quite some strategy, but we didn't really see any executes from them on their attack. They had so many chances, but it was mostly just kind of feel the ground, no real tactics being applied there as far as I could see. It was disappointing from True Rippers after seeing what they picked, because I got excited seeing the map of Breeze, of course, and if to see them not really apply whatever they've might have practiced, whatever they might have learned onto this game, was seriously disappointing, man. Because honestly, I did not, maybe one or two strategies at max, but let's have a look at the highlights if we do talk about it. Overall, their attacking half, we saw it, was extremely disappointing.
True that. I was expecting way more from the side of True Rippers, as you mentioned earlier as well. Again, now I feel like maybe just because Breeze is one of the maps that gets played very, very seldom, True Rippers did not really have a good enough idea of how Reckoning is gonna play it. Two, they kinda underestimated Reckoning's preparation onto the map. I think Reckoning, even though this map is not played enough, was ready for it, was prepared for it to show up at some point or the other into the tournament. And they have shown how well they can deal with the teams who actually favor the map to begin with.
Yeah, Caramel, of course, was the backbone of this entire Reckoning team. The way he played in that first half was absolutely insane, especially this one right here. He was so free to get those 2 kills, blinded completely. There was almost no reaction from Techno at that point. He was still looking forward. I'm not quite sure why he didn't turn around after Disrupt lost his life, but the bullets, they connected so quickly. DM King, of course, he had his moments, but this was, again, another point in time where True Rippers causing mistakes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. They're just playing by the feels of it, it seems. They've got no real strategies that were applied. It seemed a little bit out of control overall. And I hope that they've realized this and, make up for it and play a little bit more, to the expectations, because their team is a pretty great team. Deathmaker, Helef, and Vibor, they're 3 players who've been playing with each other since 2021. They've got so much chemistry amongst themselves that it's a joke for them to actually not go ahead and use that to the best of their abilities. And Breeze was a map, if we remember properly, was one of the best maps of Velocity Gaming, where all these 3 guys were involved, by the way. So it's kind of disappointing to see them. And yes, of course, not every game is going to be yours, agreed. But if you've chosen a map out of the blue when it's come back from such a long time in its dormancy, we expect you to be a little bit better. 13-7 is a little unacceptable, honestly, and I really hope going into buying True Rippers, pick up their A game, because I would love to see what these guys have got, because this is quite literally a great team that should be competing at a much higher level.
Absolutely. And again, I mean, the way Reckoning has played it, though, cannot be denied at all whatsoever, because with the 319 ACS being the initiator, that's a lot to contribute to the team being Sova of all agents, one who's supposed to be playing on the back foot for most of the time. Reckoning has literally gotten themselves a blessing in the form of Voya and in the form of Caramel. Hopefully we'll see them give a tough fight in the next one as well. It's their own pick, so let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Before that, though, ladies and gentlemen, a small little break coming our way. Go get yourselves your dinners, because this game is going to be a banger. We'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Game number 2 on its way. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are underway with map number 2. True Ripper is up against Reckoning Esports. The map 1 that just passed by, of course, Breeze, went by quickly, pretty much like a breeze, because it was, I would say, kind of underwhelming given True Ripper's pick as well. I was really expect them to show us something new, something creative, unique, but unfortunately, they played pretty much reactive Valorant across the board. Yes, there were some moments where we could see them perform to their best, but now we are hoping that Bind is going to be a different story, because Bind is Reckoning's pick, and it's a map that, of course, True Rippers are going to be no strangers to. Of course, they're going to be pretty, solid on this as well. But how solid are they going to be? Because Reckoning have got their players pretty much in all situations sorted in, especially Voya after what he did in the previous game, the clutches that he performed up and showed, and every single player, doing their best. A and Q with the operator, showing up what he can do. And overall, Reckoning seemed like a lot more solid. Do you think True Rippers actually might be able to do something in this map?
Well, I think there's a lot of True Rippers that depends on DM King, specifically in this map. They do go in with Chamber for DM King, and he tries to get the first initial frags. The same duty is given to Caramel from the side of True Rippers. And
exactly,
I feel like, according to the game that we just saw, I would have higher hopes from Caramel than I do from DM King. Even though he's an absolutely amazing player, it just seems like today is a better day for Caramel.
Yep. Let's have a look at the agent selection, though. It's probably going to be the similar, mirror, I would say, forgive me, mirror compositions. I was going to say, missed that word there. But yeah, it should be pretty much that as well. Yeah, we can see it. Double controller, single sentinel, single duelist for both teams. Everything is the same. And all of this just points to the fact that we're going to see who can actually play this map better with that composition. We will find out pretty quickly, of course, as the agent selection, they've locked in. They want to get into this soon, and they want to get out of this soon, because True Rippers, they're hoping that we end up on Lotus, which, of course, is another map that they really, really are good at, of course. But to get there, they need this Bind map to sing the tunes of their likings. And Reckoning, they're pretty good at destroying the harmonica, so you might just be a little bit up for dirty dancing here, I would say, between these two teams, because RGE, they can pretty much do anything. They've been quite solid, but True Rippers, they need a specific tune right now that should be giving them Bind, and then therefore stepping in Lotus. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, let's step in. Let's find out where this is going to lead, as Reckoning start off on the attack, and that's where most of their rounds ended up coming up against, I believe, Metal Esports as well.
True that. Let's see how Reckoning is going to unfold on this one. I do want to see Caramel take up those initial fights instead of the race, because I just feel like the longer range fights are going to be pretty crucial, and also having that headhunter in hands is going to be a never lost weapon that you can fight off with, being the early investor. Let's see, a complete barrage marching right into the site. U-Haul's complete control taken in. Helif tried to creep up from behind, but he got sent back home instantly alongside Vibor. This is early man advantage
Disrupt.
that is super beneficial for Reckoning.
Disrupt got completely blindsided. He saw the arm of the brimstone there, but he just couldn't aim it right. I don't know what he actually was shooting beside him for some reason. Maybe he thought that the arm was the left arm and his body's towards the right, but it was the right arm and his body was towards the left. And now the last two players left, Techno and DM. They're gonna try. They've got no information whatsoever. The flash just practically flew out into nothing, as the flash now from the attack does give them a bit of information that they're on the back site. Caramel's going to be taking up the first contact, and he finds it against the chamber himself. No damage exchanged, but A&Q, out he goes for the trade. It doesn't matter that his teammates died. It is going to be the round for the attack, as Reckoning will take down all of them, and they escape away as well.
Toxins going up. This is what
Should they have escaped, though? Why not finish it off in a fashion? Sorry. I mean, I love finishing it off in style by just dying to the detonation. We've won the
That's-
round. We have no weapons to lose.
I mean, sure, I guess. But hey, to each his own, I guess, or whatever you like, man. Sure, go ahead. You know, getting blown up into nothingness, into the abyss. Sure, why not? When you could survive, yay! Gives me a lot about the insight of what you like in Valorant. Okay, then let's move ahead. We've got Reckoning back on a bit of stall. They are hoping that True Rippers give out information here, and they were right about it, as True Rippers want to take Shower's control. They've set up Disrupt here, but he's going to quickly be eaten up by this Doug. Yeah, there it is. He spots him out, and they're going to try and keep him there for the while, as the spike is going to travel towards B.
Well, towards B, here's the problem. DM King is holding a very obvious angle, but it's very hard to clear it out. And the more he tucks himself in, it's gonna be more difficult, but he had to swing against a better weaponry. Why? Why would you swing against a weapon like that? Okay, in any case, the poison
Okay.
probably with wrong
Okay.
information. And Q again coming up for the team. This is obviously a reckoning round already, and then weaker weaponry as well, so let's just call it the end of it already.
Yeah,
30
Disrupt
seconds
does
left.
have a grenade. Maybe he could do some chip and damage and make them reinvest into their armor. But he's being guarded at the moment, and he's actually
Watching
worried
here.
about his flank. He thinks that maybe the chamber could come in from the other side, and he's hoping to probably just die to the spike at this point and not give away anything. Maybe just throwing in that grenade won't really harm him. It might actually give him a bit of damage, but nah, he's gonna hold on to it. The classic's gonna stay in his hand, and while we just bide by our time as well, as he is maybe looking for a ninja defuse. No, the grenade is big. The grenade's actually pretty big. Damage is not gonna be coming in. He will survive. Everybody will survive, forgive me, from the side of RGE, as Disrupt will lose his life, and Reckoning with a clean anti-eco. Nobody died. No real investment of weapons. Economy up in big stonks.
I mean, we were discussing this earlier a couple of days ago, I think, Universe. We were discussing that there's very few times when we see a completely flawless anti-eco, and that's really sad for the team coming up with the buy. This has become frequent now. Since then, I've been seeing teams going in with flawless anti-ecos every now and then. That's a lot. And there wasn't any investment from the side of Voya in the earlier round, I guess. So he is going to go in with a Vandal this time around.
Yep, agreed. I think that RGE might be experiencing a little bit of a disconnection from Fox.
Yep.
He isn't moving. Yeah, he does have 55 ping, so I think he's disconnected. And a ping, I don't think, is a problem of the disconnection. I think it's just because he's playing from home. But yeah, we should be heading back into the game pretty quickly. The minute Fox enters back in, we should start the game. But for now, Reckoning, they are in the driver's seat. They do have actually pretty good weapons to fight this. You know, 3 players are on pretty decent rifles. We've got a Vandal, a Guardian, and a Bulldog as well. And if ANQ maybe, you know, switches up that Guardian with Fox for his Spectre, he could just actually fly into U-Haul. He could cause a lot of, you know, problems for the defense. But with the Guardian, he's going to have to play a little bit more passive. And as the Raze, you don't really want your Raze to do that. You want him to be in the faces of his opponents.
True that.
And, yeah, as we continue to wait, Anna... Yeah, I was going to ask you the same question. What do you prefer? Is exactly what I was going to ask you.
I prefer Raze on a judge. Specifically
On a judge.
in maps like these. Specifically when you're
Ah.
going after the anti-eco into a bonus in maps which have such narrow pathways, I prefer the Raze on judge. Even during the attacking side, specifically considering they have gone in for the A side hit in the last round, I would assume that, you know, having the judge in hands, you would be able to enter into U-Halls easily and, you know, make sure that you have more control of the whole area. Probably combine it with a ghost so that you have a longer range weapon as well to go along with it. But yeah, that's just me.
So you're the judge player, huh?
I love judges and Buckies because
Do
I
you do you
cannot
mind
aim.
telling me your IGN? Do you mind telling me your IGN?
Anna Aiden.
All right,
It's
I'm
Anna
gonna
Aiden
make sure that I.
everywhere.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make sure that I block that so I never see you ever. No judges in my lobby. Sorry, forgive me. That is if you can reach up to my rank, of course. No, no,
I'm
no hate, no
sure.
hate, no.
I'm
No
on plat.
hate.
I'm on plat. I'm pretty low. Don't worry.
That's not pretty low. That's actually pretty good. That's good enough.
Thanks. I was just being humble. Thank you.
Oh, well, okay. A lot of these players, of course, need to stay humble to make it big. So maybe you could be the next big thing. You never know. Just keep playing. For now, Reckoning, they are looking to make it big with winning their bonus as they give a lot of information towards B. But look at the counter coming in. They've sent DM and I believe that's Techno towards B long. They've gotten so much information that this B hit is not actually coming. It's a fake. And out goes that dog towards Showers. It did detect the player there. And out he goes.
Yep.
ANQ. He's going to take the entry, but nobody to spot here. Quite the stack as True Ripper is seemingly ready for this.
True Rippers, every single player is trying to move in towards Showers. It's not going to be a very easy comeback from there because the smokes are all over and you know that the Brimstone smokes stay for quite a while. It has taken them some time to come back into the site.
30 seconds.
And now the barrage of bullets just firing through the smoke are going to get them a couple of frags. That
Spike
takes
down
away
A.
everything from the side of Reckoning. Reckoning could have won this, but they won't.
Last player standing.
Oh, there it is. This guy holds him off as there's a one player left, and there he goes. Before it takes him out as RGE kind of get pummeled in like a fish in a barrel, and they didn't actually find even a single kill there. Towards the end, their attack kind of seemed to be a little too I would say lost, because I'm not quite sure what the plan was in their minds. They went in towards U-Haul. They try to take control. They know that the site, the smoke, of course, like you mentioned, is not going to stay. Is going to stay for just long enough. But Brimstone smokes, you got to utilize them while they're alive, man. The minute you reach that 10-second mark, you're in a bit of no man's land zone. You never know what you find on the other side of the smoke. And Troopers, they read that perfectly and absolutely played it to perfection. Now towards B long, seems the attack is incoming, and the fake flash was brilliant.
He plays the same angle every single time. I don't know why you would show your back to that position. He plays it for the purpose of first frag, and that's exactly what he's been doing for the last 3 rounds. And still, for some bizarre reason, we saw Raze just turn the back and not really care about it. That's not gonna work out. ANQ has to be careful.
Well,
Toys and
Rippers have thrown in a bit of a mix here, and Harsh is looking for his own opening. He knows he's got to make a little bit of light work of this A side, but he's got so much to worry about. There's 3 players here, and Vipor is staring him straight down the line. The Viper versus Viper fight to come in, but before that itself, Helaf swings that corner. He finds Harsh, and Fox will be taken out as well. He's pretty darn low. There's no chance he survives here. Maybe he gets one, but Caramel, he actually finds 2 from Showers, and he gets the 3rd as well.
Down A.
Caramel's absolutely going crazy. He is not. Techno is going to hold that down as Disrupt will be making sure that even if Techno would have gotten killed there, he would have swung out that corner pretty quickly. Caramel's feeling himself, and Reckoning needed to continue to do that. But True Rippers, another great round from them, honestly, except for the 3K from Caramel.
True that. They, however, shouldn't have suffered that much loss, considering that they are trying to build up their economy after having lost the first 2 rounds in a row. They have won a couple, but they're still not in the place where they can, continue losing rounds and still afford weaponry. So they gotta make sure that they lose the least number of players in the process of trying to win. The lineup's gonna be good. The Molly's gonna place itself just right to make sure that nobody is pushing from U-Hauls. And that means that the race from the side of True Rippers is completely confined in that area. However, there's no capitalization on that utility from the side of Reckoning, and that's kinda heartbreaking.
Yeah, Karamo is
They
hoping
found my
that
trap.
maybe Hookah's gonna give away a little bit, and his trap actually has been destroyed from B-Long as Techno had pushed up till there, and he actually make sure that
Here.
Reckoning feel the heat a little. His flash also gives away quite a bit of information, and his Trailblazer spots two
Oh,
players. That's so much information, and the Seekers are gonna go out as his entire kit is being utilized here for information. Out comes the showstopper from ANQ as he will get one, but one each being traded. RGE still keeping this honest, by the way. There's 3 versus 3. Make that a 3 versus 2. But the players from backside are gonna be going in for their kills. And now, True Rippers are still making this work. The teleport goes in as the Sky is gonna understand that there's one player here, and ANQ, he's troubling Deathmaker. He takes him out, and the last player standing will win this fight. No, he won't. ANQ single-handedly just aim duels these guys, and he takes all of them down.
beautifully done from the side of Reckoning. It was about time they squeeze in their victory streak again, because they had come down onto an equalizer, and gaining that lead back was pretty crucial in this point of time. Reckoning, having claimed the lead again, just need to keep climbing slightly for a little bit longer to make sure that there's enough pressure onto True Rivers to make them start panicking, because we both know how difficult things are once your hands start to fidget along.
Disrupt. Needs to be careful. Oh, that is information. They might just suspect that he's in this close corner. He does call in for a smoke. This is a good thing, and he's been found here. Ramo wants to challenge him, and he might just get him, and he does. Instant transport away. The rendezvous is perfect, as now Reckoning can play without any sort of fear of having a grenade bouncing and, you know, blasting in your face. The DM does have his tour de force, but that's going to be on the other side of where the attack's actually going. ANQ, he probably expects a push to come in as soon as that B long sound cue comes through. But True Rippers are reading this really well, to be honest. They know that this is going to be a B hit, and Techno's ready for it. Takes out the one, and ANQ's gone so far low as well. Reckoning might just end up losing this round.
Well, Reckoning kinda needs this round for it to be in their favor. Reverse
got
will
your
be used.
trail.
There's again
30
enough
seconds left.
HP on ANQ to go ahead and invest in those fights. With Seekers deployed, they have enough information as well, but ANQ takes some damage again. He will get shot
enemy
down. A
remaining.
collateral will come in from the
Spike
side of
down
Techno,
B.
and that will cause way too much havoc for the team to come back from. No time, no spike, no
10
sight,
seconds
no
left.
numbers. Harsh is down to doom.
protein shake.
Boy. There was a great first pick here, but after that, Reckoning kind of lost their way. I'm not quite sure what happened towards the mid round, what the mid call was, but they kept on trying to switch up. They went towards B, expecting it to be the case that, you know, maybe the fake is sold enough. But True Rippers, so far, they've been reading this Reckoning team pretty well, I'm not gonna lie. They've been making sure that that B site is always stacked up with players, because Reckoning love faking A for some
You want
reason.
to play?
And now
Let's
it seems
play.
like they just might not end up faking it. They're walking towards Hookah all together, everybody with a sheriff, and they've got quite the load of work in front of them. Here we go, a good flash in, but actually doesn't get anybody. DM, he's inside a tube, he finds a trade, gets another.
Spike down B.
Karamo with the one and only kill, but he's got
Last
Vapor
player
behind him. He needs to win these duels to make sure that his team actually is able to do something. DM King goes down as well, and now it's a 1v2. Karamo's absolutely in the highest point of his life right now, because he knows he might just be able to win these.
Out of charges.
Elif tucks himself. Karamo's still keeping himself alive. This is going to be
Teleport's
quite
ready.
the win if he gets it. All he needs is one kill onto any of these players. But look at the huge rotation for Vapor. He's gone all the way back towards A. He's standing in spawn, as now both the controllers are kind of confused. Where the hell did Karamo go?
30 seconds left.
Well, Caramel is also fighting time as of now. He has to rotate as quickly as possible to go ahead, plant it in, and then wait for the team to approach him for the defusal. He's running pretty loud. I think Vibor might have got a sense of it. The plant is
Yep.
going down. He has called in for the rotation, and now Caramel has to watch one single angle. He knows that's exactly where they're going to be rotating from. Vibor's still uncertain
Oh,
of Caramel's positioning. The timing has been so good for Caramel. He's blessed at this moment.
but he actually has a good position. They're actually not gonna suspect him here. He gets spotted out, and he's expecting the other player towards green. But will he actually play this? No, he doesn't. Hellup takes him out as Caramel a little too out of the comfort zone here. No information, but he did try his level best, man. He got two. I think he got all 3 kills. I'm not quite sure, but he did do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, he got 2 kills. Voya was the other one to find it. But Caramel, this guy is feeling it today, isn't he?
He is. Nothing taken away from the guy. He has been performing for the team since the first map and is continuing to do the same in the second one as well. I do want to see how Reckoning is going to be towards the defensive side though, because I do see Boya being brilliant on the defensive half of this map. But then again, before that, they need to have some capitalization on the first half as well if they want to close this off here. Oh no, DM. What? He does not get a tag at least.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
Talking
That
about
is
Boya
actually so
brilliance,
good.
there's the example.
Exactly. The counter orbital strike comes in, but it's of no use. It's just going to hold them off for long. But on the other side, Reckoning take in the side anyway because they've got Hookah under control. Absolute destruction here from Reckoning, but Hellup, he gives a bit of revenge as he takes a Caramel, and that's going to be a doable 4v4, but the retake is all dependent on that flank, I was going to say, but Vibor's gone, and now they still have the Seekers in place. They could use it. I'm pretty sure they actually have. Sky, yeah, Techno actually deployed it, and it's given no real value.
Also, now the fact that Viper Split is already online, it's going to be pretty hard for the defenders to find any frags. And Q gets the first, has an idea of where the second one is, navigates through, and well, now it's just a matter of time. True Rippers are on the verge of losing this.
Yep, and they will as well. A and Q with the final frag as it's 4-4, and Reckoning are making sure that True Rippers don't continue with their rampage of getting away with these leads. 4-4, blow for blow. That's what the case has been so far. But honestly, Reckoning, they need an ace in the hole. They need something to make sure that this half ends up in their favor, because True Rippers have seemed to be understanding how Reckoning are playing in this map. Because of course, yes, Reckoning are bind, I would say, maneuveristics. They've got the maneuveristics of a great team on bind, and those maneuveristics have been studied really well by True Rippers. Not this.
Oh.
Never mind. Okay, here comes the duel, and
Wow.
Fox finds 2. Yeah, so actually what I was gonna ask is, I kind of maybe messed up on the word. Is maneuveristic a word? Wait, I'm gonna quickly Google that.
You would have to, because I'm not that good on words like that. Maneuver, yes, that is a word. Manure, that's a word.
Maneuver-
That
Wow.
somewhere one team is going to find themselves.
Yeah, maneuver.
Oh,
Forgive
goodness.
me, ladies. Oh wait, it is a word. It is a word. Yay!
remaining.
I'm not wrong, and neither
Also,
is
yeah,
Harsh
for
with his.
Hirsch. Exactly.
Yep. I'm not wrong. Neither is Harsh, and Helef. It would be great for him to save this weapon, of course, but I think he wanted a round more. Unfortunately, he's gonna be stuck in that corner, and he's gonna hope for an exit frag to come his way, which just might happen. Unless, they're gonna go towards the other
No,
side. They know
they're-
they can clear
yeah.
up together. Yep, that should be it. The round is secured for Reckoning as they take the lead now. And True Rippers, ball now is in
If
your
you see
court.
one of my creatures, it's a good thing, all right? We'll figure out
Well,
what they
True
do
Rippers do
eventually.
have to make sure that they match up to the lead constantly and at least close the half on a 6-6. Nothing less than that. However, I do feel like Reckoning might be able to squeeze a couple more rounds and close it on a 7-5. But then again, that's just gonna be the logical pattern mathematics that my brain is really, really interested in doing. Anyways, this round around, they do want to enter in through the showers area. There isn't much resistance in there, but they have to be super careful of Helif's position, considering it's a crucial position, and also considering it is Helif. You don't fight that guy. Caramel, an early
Oh.
loss already too dangerous for Reckoning.
True. Harsh. He was actually thinking about maybe taking up that A short peak, but he's holding on. He knows that this might not be good for him to go by himself. But here comes the showstopper. It actually touches nobody. And they're going to come in for the second as well. A little bit of a misread from Disrupt as he gives away his life, but there's still one player alive here. And Fox is coming in with his hands healing his opponents. Helif actually takes out 2, but it's still a 2 versus 2 overall. Techno so far away from the site, and Deathmaker, he needs to cause a little bit of commotion, maybe get one
enemy
if
remaining.
both possible.
Oh.
There he goes, not gonna happen. Avoya covers him up from the behind as Techno is left alone, and he's gotta be too cold for this clutch. He might just be able to. He gets the one behind Avoya as Reckoning establish a 2-round lead. What just happened? Avoya almost got lined up there, but it was actually Harsh
Yup.
who got killed, surprisingly.
Exactly. For a second, I thought this is gonna be a collapse. Reckoning is gonna be kicking themselves after this, but no, they sent True Rippers licking their wounds. No, this was supposed to be a collat. What just happened?
I'll
Good
shut
for
your
Reckoning
face
though.
up.
Oh, exchange of flashes. Deathmaker does not connect his shot, but he does not have any teammate who does have any proper weaponry to actually play this out. It is an eco for True Rippers. It's RGE. They want to press the issue to make it 7 here and go to the next half with an advantage to their name. They've got 2 ultimates, and that could be pretty useful as well. The Seekers, and follow that up with a Showstopper. Almost seems like an kill confirmed combo. And that Techno Flash actually is going to force him. Actually, no, he's going to pique his interest. He might end up peeking here, and that will give away the one and only thing that they need. The Flash finally going to give information. He backs away. He does have only a Stinger, so taking the fight here is not advisable for him. But here goes the Showstopper, ladies and gentlemen. He spotted a 1. The kill comes in. The Orbital Strike a little too late. Actually, still gets 1. Fox is out.
Techno to Cold in a very crucial position will get 1 frag, but then will get taken down by the
Look at
boom
where the
bot.
spike is.
And
Look
now
at where the
I
spike is.
recollect what you have said
30
a
seconds
million
left.
times. Do not retake on site B, but it seems like Reckoning has different plans. They are going to plant onto site A, and nobody can enter here with Caramel watching the angle that closely. Oh no, this is a difficult
Nobody even
fight.
expects that. That's such a stupid off angle, man, but it works so
Last
well.
player standing.
Nobody expects you to sit there. Who would sit there? Nobody. Caramel does, though. Avoya gets the 1, but he gets instantly blown up in his face with a Vandal, and he's got Helif left in a 1v2 against his teammates. So not going to be too much trouble because Helif also is tagged down pretty considerably. A tap on the spike. They know he's
don't
not
kill
defusing it.
1v1s.
Caramel, he's playing this so well. He waits for him to go back, and he gets the kill. 7-4. Reckoning picked up the pace that they were
Last
looking
round
for.
in the half.
And now, putting up 3 rounds in a row, by the way. 4 rounds in a row that they've put up. True Rippers
Yep.
are in deep, deep trouble going into the next half.
They are gonna be, and they have to be super careful of not letting this lead surmount, because if Reckoning gets
Watching
the 8th
here.
on the board before the half swaps, True Rippers cannot really hope to win this, cannot really hope to go into this last match. This would be the end of it.
No. Let's see how it is going to all end up in this half. Is it going to be 8-4? Orbital Strike coming in, but look at this DM. Oh, he spots out so many players, but he's blinded, and he's been spotted, and he will be taken out as well.
Oh, goodness.
DM, he had so many options, so many targets, but he just didn't know which one to fire upon, and his indecision causes his own death. And Disrupt might be coming on the longest flank of the world with Techno's Disruption. But all of this depends on this 1 kill, and he gets it. Follow up, yes
Wow.
he does. Reckoning now have a problem on the backstab.
They have a couple of players to watch out for, and Hirsch is not going to be able to do it all by himself. The grenade pushes it out. He will be taken down by Techno to Cold. And this is not looking good for Reckoning anymore. ANQ still trying to hold on to the ground, still trying to make sure that the defusal time can be delayed. But the Ninja is going on in from the side of Techno to Cold. Fox has to fight it, but the defusal will happen nonetheless. This worked out for True Rippers somehow. Reckoning had a lot of control for a really long time. True Rippers fell prey to the first world problems of having way too many choices when DM King had that much information and nothing to capitalize on. But then, soon after, Reckoning came back into action, however, could not stay there for long.
Here.
Agreed. 7-5. It ends not too badly for True Rippers, but honestly, looking at the first 4, 5, 7 rounds that they were playing, they should have considerably been at the better spot of this equation. But hey, if they have managed to make it 7-5, it's still good enough. Now they need the pistol, of course. This is where it all counts. RGE could shut this game out 2-0 if they win this pistol here. Highly likely. As, RGE, they must have heard of Vibor, and they're hoping that maybe they can push in on the back of that smoke fading away. 3 players towards short. Nobody been spotted out towards showers just yet. That shower control is in the hands of Deathmaker, but look at this. This is going to be huge. They're going to set up the Raze in a good position as they take in so much space on their own. Out for the fight they go, but Vibor, he wins 2 of them. And Caramel, again an off angle, and this man keeps firing, but Vibor answers back. 2 versus 3, True Rippers, they have the ace side in their hands.
They have complete control, and now the remaining 2 players of Reckoning have to come all the way from a longer run, and they have been stopped by the complete molly smoke situation created by Vibor. It's still a 2v2. The HP is pretty low on the players. Harsh is facing DK. He will get back to his full HP soon enough, but it's gonna be a fight that has to be very carefully taken by the players of Reckoning. They are still on the side of it. 1v2 up for them, but won't be dealt with. TR with the first pistol round in their favor, and soon enough, the anti-eco as well.
Yep. True Rippers, a good pistol win, a required pistol win, I would say. They needed to actually find this victory so that they could shut down Reckoning's momentum pretty early on. But it doesn't actually affect too much.
Right here.
Yes, they can level up the score lines, but Reckoning, they know that pistols are going to be a little bit of a, I would say swifty, moment for them, because they don't usually end up winning their pistols. And now, True Rippers are looking at a slow take of the entire map. Everybody's holding a certain angle. And the spike currently in the middle of a transition. It could go anywhere at the moment. They're just hoping that Reckoning maybe give away a bit of a gift for them. For the moment, it's only Caramel who's actually out in the open peeking at somebody on top of that pillar there. As True Rippers slowly starting to move in towards A.
Well, True Rippers are making their way back
No
in,
way,
but
man,
Caramel
no
will get the
way.
first frag with that headhunter. Surprisingly, he wins the fight and also gets back out of there free. The door still stuck to the plans, and the positioning on the remaining players was good enough. Fox shouldn't have gone in like that, but Caramel will still balance the numbers. Reckoning still on the advantage, equalized numbers on both the sides. 2v2. One
remaining.
on a risky situation, still wins the fight, and now Harsh will lose too. Reckoning on that equalized number, but still face way too much loss being on the anti-eco.
Please do not mistake my smile. I take this all very
That came way too close for comfort. A lot of weapons lost here, but Karamas, his first kill was, man, he's staring down at 3 players. I don't know why the Brimstone chose to come out first there, but it just happened. And Vibor clutches up this round. And on the back of that round as well, Vibor actually has his Viper Spit active. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a great win condition for a bonus round where weapons are not that great. Because in that Viper Spit, they would work phenomenally. And now, they just have to decide where exactly is this going to go. True Rippers at the moment seemingly wanting to take Shower's control, where Karamel's ready to take the fight against them. And he is itching for so much. On the other end, DM did spot out the Sky. And there comes Karamel. Does damage up quite a bit, but he will take quite a bit as well himself. That smoke gonna be inconsequential, but Karamel still goes in for the fight. Man, this guy's good today.
Well, he has been for a while now, and he's ready for another one. Gets the second.
Satchel out.
Oh, this is not looking good for True Rippers. Through the smoke, one more will come in for the favor of Caramel, and now it is a 1v5 in which nothing can be done by DM King. He could not even deny the flawless. Voya gets him through the wall, and that's done.
Honestly, I really think True Rippers should have gone for a bit of a stack push towards A short, or maybe towards B long, only to get Vibor into place with his Viper Spit, because that could have actually found them around. I'm pretty sure that would have get them, because if they're going in as a stack towards A short, they push out U-Haul, take control there, and then the Viper Spit goes in, it's practically impossible to go through that, because once they get that Viper Spit up, the rest of them can keep spamming while one of them actually goes down for the plant. True Rippers lost out a great potential, but they still have a full buy round here, so the Viper Spit maybe is in for the plans in this round.
Can be, but as you mentioned, if it was used in the last round, they could have pushed Reckoning again onto a save. That would have been much, much better. But well, in any case, this time around, let's see how far True Rippers can actually get, because Hirsch is trying to put a full stop to the team by taking their most crucial player, DM King, down that quickly into the round. Caramel just being saved by the air, but not for long.
Not ready yet. Hawk out.
No, what Reckoning, they still, of course, do have quite a bit of utility left, even though the chamber has left. Both the chambers have left. As Reckoning, hoping that maybe True Rippers don't get the chance to use that Viper Spit, and that's what they're hoping for, and down it goes! Harsh finds two! And that's gonna be the biggest kills of his defensive half. Helef, though, is still trying to clutch this one out. He, of course, is known for his calm aim, but this time, Voya is calmer, and he's ready for it all. 7-9, Reckoning continue to build up their lead.
Reckoning is just getting too close to their victory. They're gonna be on a double digit one more round in. True Rippers have to be very cautious of every single move they make from here, because they have no more chances. They will be pushed down into the lower brackets if they lose this. And it's not going to be an easy run there either. That's one extra match to win to be able to make it back into the finals. So nobody wants to take that risk.
Exactly. Fox, he will get information, but he gets chipped up a little bit. Out goes that Trailblazer. Nothing to be found here. Pistols only. That Viper Spit is probably going to be used now. That's going to be the win condition. But can they actually get Vibor into the site is a question. Harsh finds two. Makes that a third. Harsh, he's looking for everything at this point, as this man just cannot stop fragging. Vibor is the last man left, and he's going to get jumped and judged. And just as Anna would love it, it is, of course, the judge to finish off that round. Number 10 pops in, as Reckoning Esports now have a Viper Spit of their own.
This is getting more and more difficult for True Rippers. They had multiple opportunities to use that Viper Spit. They did not. And now there's a counter Viper Spit standing right in their faces to actually nullify the one they put up. This is not looking good at all for the side of True Rippers. Plus, they are on round deficit, on map deficit, and very soon they might also be on numbers deficit in the round itself.
Yeah.
You never know.
Viper Spit. Oh, look at that. Viper Spit is actually towards Showers. That's actually so much map control. And Vibor's actually taking out Voya. That's a big kill. And that push means that they've got information now that maybe they could get something here. Caramel, I think he hits that shot, but it does not kill him off. And Harsh gets taken out with the grenade. He could not escape, and the Viper Spit has been nullified. And ANQ needs to be the winner for this team now on to our showers. Disrupt is he's got no intentions of pushing this right now, but ANQ might swing out the angle himself, and I really hope he doesn't. The smokes have come in. ANQ detected, but do they expect him this close? No, yes they do, they actually do, and he doesn't connect his shots right.
He has brought this guy down to very little HP, but that still is one more man surviving, one man you can bait out. The backstab has already been detected. Vibor will get one more frag, and now it's all up to Caramel, and he can get only one through this. It was a tough situation, but well, True Rippers finally on their roll again. Reckoning has to stop all of this as quickly as possible, because if they take longer, it's gonna be very, very heartbreaking for them. Being on the lead constantly now and again and still not being able to close the map, that's gonna be hurtful.
8 to 10. True Rippers have got some pretty great ultimates to actually make this comeback of 2 rounds happen. They could use all of this, and here we go. They're making a bit of use of that Viper Snake Bite. Extremely same to this one that Reckoning were using. ANQ's been spotted. ANQ gets away as well. As the showstopper comes in from Disrupt, and he finds Fox. And that's going to be True Rippers with the entry on B. As ANQ now needs to rotate across the entire world to come in and support his team.
This is going to be a difficult entry into the side. Everything has been peeled off. There's not much that can be done from the side of Reckoning, but they will be successful in deriving multiple ultimates from the side of True Rippers.
Yeah, that Seeker ultimate was not really required for some reason. He just kind of went for it, Techno. I'm not quite sure why, but time is still in very much contention here. And Harsh actually finds Disrupt. What is happening? Why are they going out of the Viper's pit to give up their lives? It's a 2 versus 4 now. Reckoning have the numbers. All they need is one single kill, and they find it. The one man left is DM King, and he will be blown to bits unless he doesn't. The defuse needs to be stuck, and AMQ's guarding him. But DM King, he will not be able to bust this out. Is the time there? Yes, it is. 72. Oh man, what the hell?
This was not supposed to happen. This was not supposed to happen at all whatsoever.
Hold on. First of all, the first ultimate, Showstopper, great. Second ultimate, Viper Spit, brilliant. Seekers, okay, maybe a little bit of an overkill, or maybe too early, I would say. And then the push in towards elbow, completely unnecessary when you've got a Viper Spit in sight, right? And then the fourth was the fact that Disrupt again went out of the Viper Spit again. Makes it a 42, and that was it.
3 ultimates invested, and still the round did not go in the favor of True Rippers. What's worse is, there's hardly any rounds left for True Rippers to actually get those ultimates back again before the map is closed out. Because from here, if they lose one more round, they're done for. Both the ultimates have been committed again, and this round is very important for us to win. But they won't. Goodness, Harsh, you are literally rubbing up on the wounds of True Rippers. It's literally like he has salt in his hands, and he's literally just rubbing it like some disinfectant.
Man, this guy absolutely is in so much control of it. Board now takes him out as well. A bit of damage, and ANQ shuts him off. ANQ is going to make sure that Helef does not enter this site. The Satchel is going to keep him at bay, and Caramel, he's holding onto that back line, making sure that nobody gets out of here. Helef says he's got 30 seconds. He can actually afford to teleport away from here, but he's going to hold on. He's going to play for a bit of a longer game. He's gone. I thought he was going to go on a bit of an exploration journey here, but nah, he's going to hold his angle for a bit, understand what is happening, take a safe plant, and that's going to call Caramel into hookah. And this invitation is not going to be good because LF needs to win this fight, and he will. And now there's no idea. He's been spotted. Caramel!
Wow!
How do you lose that? Hellef with a clutch and a half. What the hell?
This was just sad. There could have been a little more waiting around. There could have been a few more seconds that could be bought from the side of Reckoning for Caramel to arrive to the occasion, and then maybe both of the players swing together to find at least one frag in exchange and trade off Helef, even if he finds one player. But well, there was just way more desperation from the side of Reckoning, and that resulted in their demise. 9-11. It's 2 rounds difference for True Rippers to make it back to an equalizer, and 2 rounds difference for Reckoning to win this
Go on
off.
my mark, yeah?
They have the right ultimates to make it possible. And the other ones are coming up right behind very soon
Get
as well.
destroyed.
Fox, he got quite a bit of information. First, look at this angle! A little too risky, my friend, and he gets punished for it. Out come the secrets from the defense, though, as Fox wants a little bit of damage control here. And he will spot out 3 towards long, which means they know this should be a B hit. But True Rippers are not too keen on pushing just yet. Techno wants a bit of reconnaissance, throws out a Trailblazer. He'd get destroyed. There's a Molotov to stop them from moving in. But guess who's entered the site? Disrupt. He's got information that there is one player back aside. The orbital strike is too good, and Fox finds him on the back of it. What just happened there? Why are the rest of the players still not in sight?
Well, the HP is also not looking very good on Fox. The numbers are still equalized, but then the HP on Fox could actually change things around. Let's see how this will unfold. It took way too long for the defenders to come back in. Caramel being picked up that quickly will make things even more
Oh,
difficult.
that's huge.
ANQ gets one very crucial frag up here.
That's a
With the
big
paint shells,
grenade.
he can actually damage Techno too cold as well. He does!
Ian gets one trade, gets another! And
Now
Ian
the time
gone
is
for the
not
save.
in favor, yeah.
Yep, exactly.
A little bit more coordination and Reckoning could have got this one. They could have been on Siri's point.
True. It's gonna be 10-11. Reckoning are letting this slip a little too close. Do I smell another overtime filled bind map?
Might very well be. Might very well be. Let him cook. Okay, we will.
All right, here we go. A timeout from the Reckoning boys as they require a bit of reconsideration of plans. How do we turn this True Rippers come back to a bit of a standstill? There is, I believe, an eco on the side of Reckoning, apart from, of course, the one player who did save the weapon. But apart from that, this should be True Rippers making it 11-11, unless there is maybe a plan in store to win this round. Reckoning have shown us before that their pistols are pretty strong, and True Rippers have done that equally as well. But I really hope that this timeout is for the longer run, because they would want to make this 13-11 probably. Because for now, Reckoning are under immense pressure.
They are. ANQ is the only one with a weapon in the side of Reckoning. However, he is someone you can rely on. With 19 frags to the name, the guy is doing pretty good for the team. But still, there has to be a lot more coming in.
Information gained towards B-Long. And instantly you can see that there's a rotation. He's actually gone away from that. They're stacking on A, and this is actually a great decision because True Rippers are actually heading towards A. Caramel's been kind of quiet for the last 2-3 rounds. He might just need a hero play here from himself. One shot, one kill, that's required, but DM King's got the jump on him. And there it comes, a damaging shot, yes, but no confirmed kill. Smokes are down, everything's fallen into place for True Rippers and Reckoning. Although they do have a bit of information, they need a kill right about now.
Time to hunt.
Reckoning, going on acquiring more and more
down A.
information, have the first frag to the name. First blood has been drawn and making sure that it was none other than the big
Player
boy
standing.
bad controller. They have found themselves in a good enough position, but Disrupt is disrupting the complete plan. Now Moya will be taken down as well. And as expected, the 11-11 is in. They needed frags, they needed recovered weapons. They could not really gather themselves from the position. But this time around, there will be a buy round for both the teams. If Reckoning makes it through on this one, there's still hope. Otherwise, it's done for. They'll be pushed to a safe after this again. And that's literally going to be the win for True Rippers.
The Viper Spit available for Reckoning, of course.
Chill out.
Might just come to use towards a shard because Harsh is there for the moment. True Rippers want to kind of go in for quite the aggression towards Shower, but they don't really find it in their hands. They're pushed back, but the rotation is actually being called already, even though True Ripper is given so much information here. Oh, actually, it was just for the heal. Never mind. It was just Voya going in for a heal, and now he's running straight back. Disrupt, trying to take a bit of an aggressive position. And A and Q might just be a little bit itchy for a spam here. Two Rippers are playing towards this A site. One by one, everybody's converging here. And now they wait for the Sky utility to let them get an entry point. Here we go.
Alrighty, these smokes are working out, but the showstopper will give away information. ANQ loses the fight though. An early advantage giving it away to True Rippers at a point where it shouldn't have been. True Rippers now falling back though. A good backstab.
He needs a lot more. Everybody's cramped up in U-Haul for the moment. Or outside of it, every other point in this A set has been cleared up. A short now. DM is holding this ground, but U-Haul is being fought. DM gets one, and Techno finds two. And True Rippers might just end up turning this around. 12-11, and True Rippers have the lead, and Reckoning have been stunned.
Match point.
Reckoning is not only stunned, they are about to lose. They're again pushed onto a save. They have very little to work with here. They did get frags. They will be able to afford some weaponry, but then they will have to cheap out on the utility that goes along with it. And you do need all of your utility being on the defensive side. No weapon for Caramel, but he does have his Tour de Force coming up. And one player on Bulldog. The rest could actually afford assault rifles.
Well, I'm not quite sure if this overtime is going to come in, but Reckoning need to desperately fight this one out. Yes, Caramel's got probably the most important weapon, but nothing is actually going to come his way. Caramel's been practically silenced the last 5 rounds. And he needs to wake up right here, right now, if his team have any chance of actually making this happen. That Viper Spit is going to cover up quite some bit of ground, so Disrupt might just not be able to go through it, but they're hoping that maybe it gets away. Oh, that's a bit of damage. That's quite a lot of damage, which will be healed up. Back again to 100 he goes, but this is it. This attack will either settle as going to Lotus, or this will give us overtime upon overtime. True Rippers take in, and Harsh now is ready for the fight.
Reckoning really desperately need the round to be able to push it onto an overtime. While True Rippers want to close the map, they do find the first frag, the second as well. Techno too cold is running cold blood in his veins. This is a difficult one. He gets the third.
Spike planted.
Well,
Techno too cold is literally carrying the team into victory this time.
Yep. This might just be it though. Techno, he's pretty darn low himself, and Caramel, he's got a flank. He needs to be a little careful here. He's hoping that the Viper peeks out and gives him a little something, but no, Harsh needs to win these duels, and both of them are gonna be taken out.
Attackers
13-11, and Reckoning have lost Bind. Ladies and gentlemen, Lotus is going to be underway real soon. What should have been and could have been Reckoning's game 2-0 pretty convincingly is not going to happen. And it seems that we are going to be seeing Lotus come in on the back of a really strong True Rippers comeback. Their attack in the last 4 rounds sharpened up so well, and they just told Reckoning to, I don't know, just get out of here. We're going to take this one to Lotus. And they played it so well, honestly. Their aggression, their zealous peeking, in the end was backed up by good aim this time. So Reckoning couldn't even respond.
True that. Reckoning needed a lot to bring up to the table, but then they were losing players left and right constantly in the last few rounds, and they could not really find themselves the 2 only rounds that they needed to close this off. There was a lot of distance. 8-11 was the scoreline at one point of time. It should have been 13-11 at one point, but they lost a very crucial round, the third to last. If they had won it, that could be the end of it, but Reckoning, now they are going to be walking on to Lotus.
Yeah, they are going to be walking on to Lotus, as we will see Reckoning try to turn this around. But overall, True Rippers are going to be the happiest people here. What a solid comeback from them. They were pretty darn out and counted for this game. But in the end, of course, it was Techno who made it all work for his team.
Sure did. Towards the last couple of rounds, it was like Techno was just delivering way too much value to the team. And if he hadn't, we could have actually seen the game get pushed onto an overtime. Thankfully, he did. And Reckoning and True Rippers both will find themselves on Lotus soon enough. There was an unusually good game coming from the side of Caramel for a really long time, but then towards the second half, he just lost his magic. And hopefully he has it back towards the third map, because without that, it's kind of difficult for Reckoning to win all those rounds.
True, absolutely. Caramel did quite a bit of damage in the first half, and he practically went to sleep in the second. He did have his moments of brilliance like this, but in the last 5, maybe 7 rounds, he was not able to do anything what he managed to do on the attack. And in the end, True Rippers, they capitalized upon that. They made sure that Reckoning felt the heat, and they pushed in so far ahead to find themselves going all the way to Lotus.
When we did not see Vibhor utilize his Viper Spit for a really long time when it was necessary to, I started feeling like we wouldn't see True Rippers make it through. But eventually, slowly and steadily, they made their footing stronger, and they found themselves onto a better ground altogether. Lotus might be the game changer for True Rippers. They can actually still fight for the victory. Let's see if they will get that permission though, because Reckoning again was no less either. It did go all the way close to 11-13. Like, that's a good enough scoreline to lose at. Heartbreaking though.
Yeah, Disrupt kind of woke up towards the end there. He was winning so many duels, it was a joke. Everything he saw, he almost killed. And he was doing God's work for his team. Apart from this moment right here where Techno just basically took matters into his own hands and absolutely tore. And this is the result of it. He is the MVP of his team, of course. 20 kills to his name. On the other side, Harsh, he had so many rounds with multi-kills, but he just couldn't get his team across the line. They played so well. Both him and ANQ were absolutely fragging out Caramel. His numbers of that 18 you see, maybe 14 of that came in the first half itself. Though he was doing really well, everybody in the second half kind of just switched off. Maybe their comms went a little over the line and they just couldn't work it out. Fox didn't have the best games, of course. Voya as well, a little bit quiet compared to what he was doing on Breeze. But hey, Lotus is underway now, ladies and gentlemen, and it might just change everything.
Well, soon enough, we will be entering into that map, but this one definitely had a lot coming in from the side of Reckoning, specifically from the side of Hirsch. He had multiple frags, but not really something so significant that it could bring the team towards victory. Very
True.
close to it, but not exactly at it.
Yep. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, the final map to decide who's going to be facing off Orangutan in the next round will be coming at the other end of this break. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for what is the final map, the decider of this best of three. That's going to give us our upper bracket finalists between these two giants. True Rippers with an amazing comeback in the end of that map of Bind as they steal Reckoning's map pick away from them, and both these teams have now ended up on Lotus. Now, we'll get into the facts of this. I do have something to say, but Anna, I do want to ask you before anything. We've come now to this glorified best of one of a Lotus. What are your thoughts? Who do you think might take it? Who might have the advantage according to you?
I feel like Reckoning might actually take this home because they did come very close even on the last map, and if they hadn't messed up just a little bit, they could have actually closed it on 2-0. So I feel like right now Reckoning's overall coordination is looking much better than that of True Rippers, and even though they're doing good, I feel like they're taking a little bit longer on every map than Reckoning is. So I kinda lean towards Reckoning on this one. What do you think?
I actually think True Rippers might take this. And I've got some pretty interesting reasoning as to why. The fact
Safe
is
choice.
that the fact is I wouldn't say it's a safe choice. It's more of a statistically analyzed choice because you know what? Let's have a look at let's look at the agent selects first. Of course, I think they're gonna stick to what they've usually done, except okay, a little bit of change. A double controller here from the side of the attack, that is RGE. They've gone for the Astra, not something that we've seen them ever pick before, by the way. They've always gone either for the Omen or
Select
the
your
Harbor,
agent.
but this double controller is rather new because the last time they actually played on Lotus, they played with a double initiate. No, actually, they played a double controller, but it was the Omen instead of the Astra. So, an interesting comp here, but yes, we do have quite the bit of a difference between these two rosters. Now, let me throw this in. Reckoning, in the last 3 games that they've played Lotus, they've lost all 3 of their games. And
Okay.
True Rippers, till date, have never lost a game of official Lotus. Never. And that's been quite the 100% win rate they've got since the map has released. True Rippers have not lost Lotus even once, not against any team that they've played so far. But Reckoning are coming on the back of 3 losses on Lotus, and now they come here. Maybe they want to fish out and break True Rippers' fresh 100% streak. They could do it. It's all to find out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hop into the game to see where exactly is this Lotus gonna bloom. Is it gonna be towards the faces of Reckoning Esports, or are True Rippers gonna pluck this map and run away with it?
Well, let's see. I do still strongly believe that Reckoning does have some plan up their sleeves. 1, they have changed up their composition. 2, they were the one to ban the last map. So, kinda is their choice overall. So, let's see how this turns around. Considering True Rippers has won on Lotus multiple times, they will have a specific game plan, and I think Reckoning has a read on it. We saw that come in during Breeze as well. So, I'm gonna keep my hopes up on that. But let's see. According to the statistics, as you have mentioned, True Rippers will have a better chance here. But then again, the statistics have not gone right for any of the maps that these two teams have played today.
Yeah, but look at this. They're actually going from B to A, it seems. They've broken the door, and they're completely gone from here. Nobody's stuck around. The Boar's gonna try and keep them at base. As a little bit of spam comes in, he finds the 1 kill, and that's about it. Helef is here on the side, and he's gonna be allowed a little bit of space as DM Kid comes in, and he will get 1 trade for trade. Keeps going, but Reckoning are in the lead still in terms of men. And look at this kill from Disrupt. He gets the 1, and he's still got a flash to work with. Out it goes on the other side. The blind is a little half-sided, but they still win their duels, and damn, King clutches it out.
Beautifully done from the side of True Rippers. At one point of time, it started looking like they are going to lose grip on this round. But then they did come back strong and long into the game. With the first round in their pockets, they have already announced why they haven't lost on this map ever. Reckoning has to be super careful, and considering they have switched up their composition, They need to be even more aware of what they do next. One thing that I worry about picking Astra over Omen is the fact that with Omen you do get replenishable smokes, and with Astra you don't have that flexibility. It kind of gets in the way on a map this big.
Let's choke them.
Yep, it does most certainly. True Rippers with a great pistol on the back of DM's clutch up there. Disrupt and him played really well in that 2 versus 3. And now they are looking at a bit of an even spread, mostly towards C. They've let Deathmaker actually go back towards B. But the attack is heading at A. This is going to be quite the unfortunate scenario if Vibor is not going to be able to hold it. But look at this push. Ah, there it is. A good alarm bot destroys his chances of going any further. As now, Voya. Does he get the kill? No, Techno actually managing to get away. My god, that was real darn close for comfort. But RGE are now going back towards C.
Well, RGE right now does seem to be going towards C as you mentioned, but towards C we do not see anyone from the side of True Rippers to begin with. That is going to give them a free site to invade into, pushing the game into a post-plan scenario. Nobody has lost a single player so far, so that's going to be one benefit that True Rippers can reap off of. But the fact that Techno 2 Cold is so low on HP can give him away for free.
Satchel out.
All he can do is work as a bait. But as long as the trade comes in favor, it could work out. But Voya won't let that happen. He has the initial 2 frags, changing things around for the side of Reckoning. But the comeback is stronger. Disrupt on his game right now. A 1v1. Unaware before enters in right into the crosshairs of Caramel, giving away a good round for Reckoning and pushing True Rippers again into a save.
Yep. Great stuff here from Reckoning. I honestly did not believe that they would actually give out that much damage, but Caramel, once again, the savior for his team. They put up the 1 on the board. Reckoning honestly shouldn't have won that round, but the heroics keep flying in.
Boys toxins going up.
And on the back of that, Reckoning have a big round in their hands. Helef almost actually getting away. I'm not quite sure why Helef was the one picking up the orb. DM gets a kill with a classic onto Caramel on the other side of the map as he's actually going for that weapon. And Voya needs to be careful. He's got his Nano Swarm. It flushes up one,
Nicely
but he
done.
will not get away with the other. That should be a weapon retrieved, and that should be forcing Reckoning to go towards C. And now True Rippers actually have an advantage of men, and they can pick up 2 weapons to play this retake with as well.
Let's see how far this will go because the weapon drop was quite far away. However, we did see a good incoming force from the side of the Omen to try and acquire that. It's still gonna be 1 less weapon for the side of True Rippers with the numbers equalized already. Reckoning prepared for the entry of Vibor. Fox knows where to look at and he has ANQ's support as well.
Left.
Now the numbers are good, the weaponry is good, and it seems like Reckoning can make this work out. They need to rotate though, and they will.
1 enemy remaining.
With this frag, they have free entry into Site B. Not enough time though. They have to plant instantly. And the duty will be
10
given up
seconds left.
to the Astra.
Spike planted.
3 versus 1. He does have a weapon. Oh, Techno needs to be careful here. He's got a flank, a sneaky little bugger right next to him. And he's probably going to take it. Look at the patience on AMQ. He waits and waits and waits. He's like, nah, let him come to me. Why should I peek out? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is Reckoning with another round. It was a 3 versus 4, and True Rippers had the advantage. But ANQ, heroics once again from individuals here, absolutely make this possible.
Beautifully done by players of Reckoning. Once they came into the lead of numbers, they did not let it drop at all. They made sure that they were holding their ground. Once they had planted the spike, they knew it is about time that True Rippers start walking towards them. No need to overextend in that
Alarm bot
moment of advantage. If they continue to do this, Reckoning might find themselves in a much better ground. True Rippers though need to come back, find that equalizer and the lead. Being on Lotus with this composition, they have to make good on the defensive side.
Well, here we go. Once again, the retake underway because the plant is going down. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Warrior's positioning could be huge, but DM, he takes him out. And now it is probably unlikely that this retake could actually occur. Forgive me, this post plant could occur because they've been sandwiched in from every angle. They need to take this fight and they need to win this. And they're trying to force the issue, but there comes the support and Vibor finds the kill. And Reckoning are losing players one after the other. Deathmaker's keeping them busy with the showstopper. He gives so much damage, but he's got no confirmed kill. The grenade's gonna push him out for a bit. Time of the essence here, and Deathmaker's making it work, and he will get every single one of them.
Three frags for the guy, and he gets the complete confirmation for the round. True Rippers coming back in, clawing their way into the equalizer. It's just been 4 rounds, but the match has been so dicey, moving left and right from one team to the other. This is looking like one very toe-to-toe tournament. And in this particular match, the second half is gonna be of real essence, because first half seems to be very equally dealt to both the teams.
Rippers looking to be a bit aggressive towards C-Long, and Deathmaker's actually gotten up pretty far ahead as well. And once he's pushed them back, you can see the amount of aggression coming in from them. They're sending in the Trailblazer as well. And the stun comes in. Deathmaker finds A&Q. And that's a huge kill to find as well. The entry fragger has been eliminated from this round, and Reckoning might just end up feeling a bit of pain on the back of that kill because he had the showstopper as well. And now, True Rippers, they've got the Rolling Thunder available to them. They could use it pretty well on the retake.
Poison orb emitting.
RGE,
Poison
how are you going to be adapting to this one?
toxin screen down.
I feel like RG won't have a lot of difficulty trying to win this one unless they start losing players left and right. They have lots, but they still have way too many ultimates to play with. Even the ultimate on the Viper is gonna come online with one single orb that can be obtained by the plant itself. With Seekers, they have way too much information to play on. The Rolling Thunder has already been pulled in. Caramel has his Viper Spit online as well, but he does get traded instantly. With the lockdown, they can again acquire a lot of real estate to work with.
Spike planted.
But then again, being able to invest it at this point of time would be slightly difficult. 2 ultimates already invested. If they lose after this, there is no coming back.
True.
I think they won't though.
Fox, he's in such a good position, but he doesn't expect
player
DM
standing.
to be on the other side of that wall. And now it's a 2 versus 1. Deathmaker needs to fight this. He spots one and they know he's here. And he's just been taking all of them!
What?
What the hell? Deathmaker!
What did he do?
Wait a second. Why? What? No, I wanted to see what he did. We didn't see his POV. An ace clutch from Deathmaker, but how the hell did he end up doing that? I think the walls were being a little too, I want to say confusing for the Reckoning players themselves. Both of them were at the same time, but the minute I think Deathmaker moved behind that wall was the same time Reckoning moved on the other side. And then they started getting the confusion as to what's happening because that satchel pushed them off their mark, and then he found isolated fights pretty easily and took both of them down for the ace clutch.
Goodness gracious. Such an expensive round. 3 ultimates invested and no value found. Reckoning just digging their own grave right now.
Recovering it.
This was an unfortunate round for Reckoning. They were on their way to victory. It was just really unfortunate that Deathmaker found both of them. But then again, the loss is still gonna be in the books to read. So sad.
Killjoy utility been taken out as
Placing alarm
running
bot.
into that A site. Every angle being covered and cornered as RGE have a Viper's Pit to make this easier on the eyes as well for themselves, but more difficult for True Rippers. That's a big grenade that's gonna flush out Harsh from his corner. And Deathmaker, he will not go down without getting one of his own. Helif comes and trades him off, and that's gonna be Reckoning now flushing in to play this a little bit safer. Karamo, he needs to be alive until the end, and this is going to be important. No flash gonna be revealing anybody, forgive me, as ANQ gets one. The showstopper comes in from ANQ, finds Helif and RGE. Win this round, but Karamo goes down. Disrupt is in trouble. He's got so much coming his way, but he still gets it. The time is not gonna be there as True Rippers, once again, the aim on point, but the end of the round just not going their way. Reckoning steal it at the last second.
Well, the last one was supposed to be Reckoning's round, but it went to True Rippers, and this one was supposed to be a True Rippers round that went to Reckoning. Disrupt came in long and strong, was able to take down the last man standing, but well, could not really find the time to go in for the defusal. So unfortunate.
Out of charge.
Either ways, a very good match nonetheless. We've seen two maps between these two teams, but nothing has been so close as Lotus's. It's literally a tug of war.
Bomb buddy out.
Deathmaker, the aggression's a bit too much, my friend. All you've got is a pistol. You gotta be careful. Out he goes. He's just gonna play around with this. I don't know what he was trying to achieve there, but he wanted to probably pick up the weapon that he saw that was dropped down. But nah, guess what? They've run away with it. True Rippers have lost their talisman, and now they hope for a better round with the remaining players who've got just pistols, by the way, on their hands. And Reckoning, they've got two ultimates that could pretty much clear out any site at the moment. But they're gonna make sure that they don't use it all, because they know this is an eco for their opponents. So yeah, let's find out.
Well, all True Rippers is looking for one more frag, and then they can work on the Seekers. Knowing that the other team has literally lost all of their ultimates recently, they can be safe and secure in the thought that they do not have to worry too much about saving their ultimates for countering the other team. True Rippers can actually work this around pretty easily. But then again, for them to be in a much better position, they have to make sure that Reckoning one player is already taken out before the Seekers are launched. And it happens. Just as one player is taken down, Seekers will be taken up. And now the complete intel will make it easy for the side of True Rippers to walk in alongside the lockdown paired up right on time. Harsh, however, finding frags for the team. Not for long though. Does get taken off
he needs to be
instantly.
covered.
Last
Cover needs
player
to come in
standing.
quickly. The defuse is not being stuck yet. No, actually it is. Never mind. It is being stuck. We just, I don't know why, but the HUD just kind of made it disappear for a second. I thought he actually got off the defuse, but nah. They're going to stick it. A thrifty round for True Rippers on the back of a really well-executed flank as they get the first kill. And Reckoning just got torn apart there. It didn't matter that Deathmaker lost his life. They had two ultimates to use, and they used them so very well. Did not let anybody come close to that Killjoy ultimate. Stuck the defuse at the right time and made it work.
Beautifully done by the players of True Rippers, and with that they show a lot of potential onto this map. However, nothing taken away from Reckoning either. A lot of damage soaked in though. Caramel has to go ahead, find the frag, but he does not. A numbers advantage already going in the favor of True Rippers because no trade could be taken up. Caramel did not have any support, neither did Woya. Two frags given away for free. True Rippers are way too ahead in numbers right now for anything to get in their way.
RGE, hoping that C is going to be a bit of an easier take for them. Fox, they come with the Oh, that stun is so good. That stun is so good. It shuts down everybody left, and Reckoning will fall to pieces as Troopers will take the first significant lead in this Lotus map. It's been blow for blow so far, but this is the first time the teams have taken a 2-round lead, except for the Pistols, of course. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a timeout from Reckoning, as they need to now understand what is going to be the next course of action. They've got a full buy round, of course, coming in, but they need a plan. How do they use their ultimates? They've got two good ones, the Cosmic Divide, the Seekers, and I'm pretty sure they're close to their Viper's Pit as well. I'm not entirely sure about that. We should have a look at it as soon as we have the scoreboard up. But as of right now, Reckoning, they're listening to their coach, and he might just end up cooking.
Well, he might have the perfect recipe for this victory. Hopefully, because they are falling short on numbers, and being on Lotus on the attacking side, if you're not having enough rounds in your pocket, you're doing something really wrong. Every single round from here has to be a Reckoning victory, because if you are walking into the second half without any advantage at all, then you have zero chances, because Lotus is a heavily attacker-sided map. There's shorter rotations for attackers, and also it's 3-sided, so that says it all. A good start. Voya going in for the first frag, gets traded out, but the numbers will still stay with Reckoning. Seekers deployed already with only 3 players remaining on the other side, trying to get an idea of where to find them. Reckoning will get an easy entry into the site.
Spike planted.
Troopers, they need to be a little careful about their positions. Vibor is going to be detected coming into that B-Link position. There is a Killjoy alarm bot there, and there goes the kill that might have just actually turned this great game around. Reckoning, they find Voya with a little bit of value, and that should be it. Disrupt has got practically no info, and he's got no more life left either. Last man standing, Vibor. The Boombot spots him out, and so will the rest of Reckoning, as they completely shut him out of this round. 5-4, Reckoning. They make sure that the bleeding does not go too much out of control.
The right kind of medicine used at the right kind of time. However, this has to keep continuing all the way for the first half. They need all the 3 rounds going forward from here. They do have the Cosmic Divide to work with right now. Soon enough, they will have the other ultimates coming up online as well. I don't think Seekers will show up in this half again, but yeah, there should be a good opportunity to have the remaining ones. Showstopper already available for the side of DM King. Already in a very aggressive position, was forced back by the util dump coming in from the side of Reckoning. Coming back into the fight. Sky and DM King both trying to make sure that Reckoning does not get an easy entry into the site. And they don't plan to. They're trying to rotate towards site B, even though the numbers have dropped for them.
Vibor, he's ready for the spot, and I think, yeah, he gets it. Will be instantly retracting away. He knows his setup is pretty strong on the C site, and his head has been spotted. Oh, Vibor, you need to be careful, my friend. Look at Caramel. He's got great ground covered here, and he's sitting in such a sneaky spot. All he needs to do is just wait for his teammates to make a bit of commotion towards C so that the rotations are called in. But no,
left.
they actually are thinking that Caramel's in such a great spot that they might not be able to. They might be able to get in this A side pretty great, but it's not the case. That's not going to happen. There's 2 players here. Out we go, and A and Q will be destroyed. Caramel comes up with 2, though he comes up clutch. His position, his patience pays off, and now Reckoning are going to try and fight on the back of that. Time is going to be enough, but Caramel.
Poison's off.
2v2, the situation gets kinda tight for the team. Harsh finds one more. Now it's all onto the back of the Killjoy, who does not even want to fight this one, just saving the weapon. Giving Reckoning another round. The equalizer comes up and soon enough the lead will too. It's gonna be crucial for True Rippers to hold on to that weapon with all of their life. Because I don't think they have the buying potential for long.
Toxins going up.
Yep, there he goes. Karamo, he secured the round for his team. And that is going to be the end. I think Vibor has disconnected, unfortunately.
We know what
But
we're doing.
what a
Trust each
round
other and
from
we'll be
this
fine.
man. Absolutely brilliant. He was sitting in that position. I thought that maybe his call for them to come A might be a little bit overkill because he's got no information about how many players are on the site, but he makes it work. A and Q might have gone down, but that 3K he found on that site, the last one while being stunned as well, absolutely nonsensical. And Reckoning, they need to give him the credit.
Sure do, sure do.
Turn out.
Caramel again showing back his true colors. He did shine away, fade away a little bit towards the second half of the second map. But I think that was just the recharge time that he required. And he's back in action now. Caramel just doing great for the team. Just needs to continue for a couple more rounds to make sure that the team has enough to feed off of on the second half. A broken bye towards the side of True Rippers, but being on the defensive side, it's not gonna hurt as much. It's still gonna hurt a little though. You still won't be able to deny the entry as well as you could if you had the right weapons.
Yeah. I do see, of course, that Vibor is back, but I'm not quite sure who's disconnected now. But the game should be resuming in just about a couple of seconds. Just to wait for the timer to be unpaused. I think Reckoning are experiencing a little bit of a problem. I think one of their players has left. I think it might just be
Fox.
Harsh Fox? No, I'm not quite sure actually. Yeah, I think it's Fox. Yeah, could actually be him. No, they're all here. They're all here, man.
Yeah, they're all here. Everyone's
quite
ping is
sure.
fluctuating, so I think everyone is in here.
Yeah, so I'm not quite sure what we're waiting for, but we should be starting off now. Yep, there we go. Timer's been
There it is.
started, and we should be starting off as True Rippers and Reckoning. They will have the scores level for the moment. Reckoning, of course, in the momentum in their hands. And now they're experiencing a bit of connection with the B site. Disrupt is going to try and maybe disconnect them, but it's going to be DM King who does it first. Again, that C push, so powerful, and they completely cut off an entire part of the map from them, and they're forced to push A, where Vibor is sitting pretty waiting for them.
Well, he's ready for the fight, but he's the only one standing there to fight. He does get ANQ, but ANQ will be able to refrag before getting taken off using his showstopper. Enough value to the ultimate, but then again, the numbers are still low for the side of Reckoning. True Rippers can actually capitalize on this fact. They do have to be very well coordinated though, because they're fighting time and players at the same point.
One enemy remaining.
Disrupt already able to secure one. Hush does come back in, but he's in a 1v3 situation. Does not seem very possible. And the Ninja Diffuse is already stuck up. There it is. Another round for the side of True Rippers. They are teasing Reckoning right now. They let
Last
them come
round
close
before the
enough for an
switch.
equalizer, but not enough to get the lead.
Absolutely. True Rippers with a great round for them to take a bit of control and not let this half go away from them, of course, because they would at least want it to be 6-6 before they go on to the attack, where they should be utilizing that breach really, really well. And now True Rippers. They're looking at maybe that C aggression again. Yeah, there they go. The smoke outside of B this time. And they're pushing in. They wanted to actually chip them off from two different directions. That's quite bold. And now Disrupt. Boombot not going to give him too much. Neither is the Flash. They do come out of that angle. And DM King, he probably wants to challenge them from doors. They want to make Reckoning so uncomfortable on the other end, though. Look at Karamo. He's gone all the way towards A. He's going to find a bit of opening. Once again, he's in that same spot, but this time he is being read by Vibor. Disrupt is going to come in and cover up from that tunnel spot as well. But the A side is either way given up for a retake once again.
Spike planted.
Oh.
One enemy remaining.
Maker gets another. They run straight in and one after the other. It's absolute chaos. They just absolutely tear through them, and that is the round for True Rippers. 7-5, they take the lead. And my word, this is quite the retake scenarios that they've built up. Winning absolutely everything back to back to back. They make it theirs the first half with a 2-round advantage.
True Rippers just in a very good position to go into the second half with. Being on the attacking side, they can actually make do with just 2-round advantage from the first half. But it all comes down to the pistols. The pistol and the anti-eco. If they have those two in the pocket, they can actually climb up the lead mountain very quickly, ripping through the scoreline into the upper bracket finals. Reckoning Esports this time around, they have left site A completely empty, pretty much aggressing towards site B and C. Way too much area covered by the players. Still not enough information to work with though.
And now, as Reckoning just wait for True Rippers to make their move, I think this round might end up being replayed. Actually, oh yeah, there we go. There we go. I think this round is gonna be restarting. I am not quite sure what happened, but there we are. The round has restarted, and there is going to be probably some disconnection that's occurred. That's exactly why we've gotten this round back to its initial phase when we began it. I'm not quite sure who that is. Doesn't seem likely anybody from Reckoning. It's probably somebody from True Rippers.
Well, in either case, we are going to be seeing everything start off again. There is still a pause, waiting for the player to connect back.
Out of charges.
But yeah, what do you think? How can Reckoning claw their way back in? Because being on the attacking side, True Rippers does have a much better opportunity to capitalize on the lead that they acquired from the first half. Does Reckoning really stand a chance now?
Yep, I think they most certainly do. I think that all they need to do is play a little bit passive because that Breach is going to be a really annoying menace to deal against. So I think they need to stay off of, you know, these default angles and play for a little bit of these off-angle places and maybe take duels after the utility is passed, because that stun and flash is going to be quite the problem. So maybe not play on these default angles, take a little bit of, you know, I would say a shifty approach, play maybe with a couple of shotguns if required as well, which they do usually do across B and C. But they need to be careful about how they approach with the operator if at all A and Q wants to go for it, because there's going to be multiple bits of utility that fall in his face. The Sky also, of course, being available to them. That's a whole load of flashes, 4 flashes that could be bouncing around their faces, and they just might not be ready for that.
Let's see, let's see. Reckoning does need to make a lot of effort to try and make this a valiant victory for themselves. Otherwise, they will be moving down into the lower brackets, which is not going to be super easy to climb back out of. However, whoever wins does not have an easy run either. They have Orangutan waiting on the other side. I don't know if that's a battle I would want to pick on choice.
I mean, you have to go ahead and take the fight. If you don't, you're gonna, be on quite a bit of pressure.
Blinded.
Because either way, no matter where it is, Orangutan, yes, as good as they are, you're gonna have to face them. Somebody should be looking to beat them. Somebody will be strong enough to beat them eventually. They cannot win every single game, of course. But ladies and gentlemen, for now, the round has commenced. There is no more disconnections, no more restarts, as Reckoning now have to face the wrath of this True Rippers team as they slowly creep up at A. They've gotten so much space because Reckoning are actually willing to give them that. Interesting placement of the turret there, as they want to just get information about people crossing in. Yes, there's a killjoy available here. Voya, he might just be spotted. There it is, and the kill comes in with a double peek. True Rippers find their entry, and that's going to be another one with Karamo sticking around towards B Link, and that should be True Rippers' round on the pistol.
Not losing the Viper was very essential for the side of Reckoning Esports, but they did. And now going forward is going to be super difficult, considering that this is a 4v3 retake scenario onto side B, which is kind of hard to deal with to begin with.
Last player standing.
And there you see, one after the other players will fall to the ground from the side of Reckoning, and True Rippers will find themselves the 8th. And soon after the 9th as well. I know during the first half, we did see the team lose anti-eco. But this time around, I don't think history will repeat itself. Being on the attacking side, True Rippers might just be able to make the best of their better weaponry.
There.
Yep. 8-5. True Rippers in the
Tear them down.
comfortable lead now of 3 rounds. They need quite a bit more, of course, and they will find that on this one, unless Reckoning can pull off what they did in the first half where they won their anti-eco. RGE, for the moment, has stacked up pretty strongly on B. They've got the rotations coming in now. You can see that the Skies made his way towards A. Towards C. Voya's the only one there, and he's also considering maybe getting away from here because they must have heard that Killjoy alarm bot towards A main. But Voya, he's expecting this, and he's ready for it. He does not give any damage, and he deals in so much for himself. 9 HP forced off his mark as True Rippers will brute force themselves into the C site. And Vibor is gonna lurk up in towards B, and he finds one. Voya will get one for his troubles, as True Rippers will still have quite the bit of players remaining, and they should be absolutely a-okay to plant the spike.
Well, the plant time has been delayed from the side of Reckoning Esports, but I don't think it will stretch enough to make True Rippers lose this. The numbers are closing in. However, Reckoning is ready for the fights. It is a 4v2 situation. Make it a 4v1 and then a 4v none, because Techno Too Cold is too good on the Ghost itself. Oh, beautifully done. 9-5. The scoreline is looking very, very hard to surmount for the side of Reckoning Esports. Excruciatingly difficult.
But this is their bye round, so they should be feeling a little bit confidence here to maybe win this one out. But if we are to believe anything that's happened with the past, it is that Lotus hasn't been the kindest map to Reckoning in the recent past, but True Rippers have found it to be the most blossoming map of their entire Valorant career. So far, it is the only map that's given them all the green signals. Let's see how far this can actually end up going, because what we need right now from Reckoning is going to be a clean round, maybe with at least 4 players surviving, because their economy needs to be in the right sense to go forward and make this comeback happen. For now, at the last second, it seems like we've got a pause. Not quite sure what has just transpired, but I think somebody might be uh, disconnected.
Well, there's a lot of disconnect coming in, and it is giving all the momentum shift towards True Rippers. Reckoning just finds their footing and then loses it again right after the time pause. They are pretty far behind now, and it's gonna be a steep climb, and I don't think it's gonna be easy. I think it's the Omen from the side of Reckoning that is disconnected.
Might just
I
be.
see no movement on Helif.
Yeah, but
True Rippers, yeah, my bad.
no, I think they're okay. I'm not quite sure what exactly it is that this round's being caused to.
Oh no, yeah, it's
Cur-
Vibhor. Vibhor's ping is not fluctuating at all.
Yeah. He's gone to the wall and stuck there. Yep, it is Vibor who's disconnected. We should wait for him once again,
He's
as
back.
we hope. Yep, there it is. He is back, of course. He turns his head, and yay, we should be good to go, ladies and gentlemen. As Two Rippers, they've gotten themselves sorted out. A couple of stars being placed by Fox, and he takes them back as well. Maybe a bit of a bait just to fool the True Ripper boys, but nah, they're not moving right now. I think they're still waiting. Maybe Helef as well is. I think he's probably AFK, gone to the bathroom or something, but we should be starting off quickly.
Mm-hmm. Probably Helif is calling the ISP of Vibor because Vibor keeps disconnecting today.
Oh, we're gonna be restarting the round. It seems, although the round hadn't really started, so
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure why the rollback was there, because there were 3 seconds left. The barrier wasn't down. The round didn't actually start, so the rollback kind of is ironic. But hey, we are going to be restarting for a bit of a fresh page so that Wibor feels refreshed, and so does his internet. And we should be starting off towards the attack being focused on B and C, it seems. Wibor is going to hold down the fort towards A, as A and Q wants to go in a bit aggressive, it seems.
Well, I don't think it's gonna give much fruit to him because there isn't many people there, but Caramel losing way too much HP early on in the round. That too, staying on the side C, where he does not really have a lot of reinforcement alongside. It's gonna be difficult. The side of True Rippers has already been split into side B and C. They are gonna look for the right opening to work with.
Spike
Caramel,
down.
with that low HP, still finds a frag for himself,
back.
making the numbers go up high for Reckoning.
Yeah, he
Calling
does
here.
get a 5v4, and it's pretty surprising that he actually gets it done, because he should have probably died there. And now, there's just
Spike planted.
one big retake left to occur on the B site, and they're trying to surprise them by coming in from every side. But Sky Techno, he goes in for the run and gun, and he wants a little more. He gets the blind onto Harsh, and he might just find it. There's trades going on the other side of the map, and Techno gets taken out. It's 1-for-1. It's 2 versus 2 now. Deathmaker is found out,
remaining.
and Telef makes it a little easier, but both the duo from West Bengal, they make it work, as they, in their crossfire, disable Reckoning Esports, and they win, by the way, their bonus round. And this is a 10-5 scoreline with Reckoning in the absolute trenches of their economy. They might end up forcing in here, or they might have to just do a little bit of a semi-buy, because this is going to be 11-5.
Yup, 4 classics and a Marshall is what I see on Reckoning Esports so far. And this 11-5 scoreline does not seem deniable.
Satchel out.
Reckoning has a lot to do. They haven't secured a single round in the second
that's
half,
so
and
good.
it does not seem like they will anytime soon. Harsh, though, with that Sheriff, will be able to shut DM King down, but the numbers still look very good for the side of True Rippers, considering that Harsh has also lost HP in the process and cannot recover it. The flash will be good. The frag won't come in though. Fox tried to push, but the timing did not work out. And Disrupt, even in that position, was able to find the frag. Numbers are just not looking good for Reckoning at all whatsoever.
Not ready yet.
No, they're still keen on pushing this A site though. Finally, they make a bit of a change in their movement and they probably want to go towards B. And Reckoning themselves are pretty darn stripped of utility and weaponry at this point. They've taken the weapons with them, it seems, the only one weapon, and he's actually going to throw it off the map, Elif, just to make sure that nobody actually grabs it. Voya, he's got his turret, his trusty buddy, but he's not going to be able to see anything, only his turret will.
30 seconds left.
He will get a tag onto Disrupt. That's a good shot, actually. But he needs a lot more. He needs another kill because Disrupt's been put up to 70 once again as the heal will get completely
I've got your trail.
completely destroyed because of its full use. And now RGE on the retake with the Marshall and a couple of pistols.
Well, the Seekers being invested gave a lot of information to True Rippers. They know exactly where to look at right now. And with that, they will be able to keep their numbers up constantly and also delay the diffuse.
One enemy remaining.
No chance Hirsch gets this, yeah. This is a 1v3 that's not supposed to be invested into by Voya, but he will still try and lose. Should have saved the weapon. Wait a second.
And
he had the Marshall, so yeah, it doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And here comes the timeout. I think that the timeout timer has, yeah, there we go. What we needed was to unpause the timer itself because we needed a technical timeout to stop so that the tactical timeout could continue. Valorant is a funny game like that, of course, but now Reckoning Esports need a change of their game plan. How do they approach this? 11-5 down. They're pretty much in the end game here because if they don't win this next round, it is GG. Good night to the upper bracket, and True Rippers will take themselves to face off against Orangutan in the next round. But if True Rippers do slip up a little bit and Reckoning are able to build up maybe 2-3 rounds, we might just have a game on our hands which could go quite the distance. Let's find out if or not this timeout is actually going to let them maybe come up with a different strategy, because I believe what they can do right now is force True Rippers to use their utility and hold passive for as long as possible, because True Rippers, they're playing so slow. They're taking their time. Only Deathmaker is the one who's trying to take a bit of control. And once he goes in forward, True Rippers just stop. They just stop and wait. And on the other, look at this, Reckoning Esports. They're going for a full stack 8 push, it seems. But True Rippers, they're worried about the other side of the map.
Going towards Site C, if they find the first frag itself, they will have an easy entry in. And Caramel hasn't been that difficult to fight off against in the recent times. He again started very strong on this map, but then soon faded away. Voya already taking some damage up here. Does have regrowth available very close by. Will be able to be brought back onto the full HP. But not enough. Not enough for the team to survive with.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
RGE need to hold on to their ground. Once again, it's the same thing from True Rippers. As I mentioned, they first take initial aggressive contact with Deathmaker, and then they instantly stop, and now they're going towards A. But there's a flash outside of C that confirms that this is not going to be a direct A hit. It's going to be a fake. And True Rippers, they change course. They change tracks. They're going towards B, where Voya, he will be pushed off his mark, and there will be a plant coming in, and True Rippers will play for the post plant. but can they actually get that first pick because they need it right now?
Bomb buddy out.
Well, True Rippers do have to make some work to make this happen. However, Hirsch will be able to pull it off though. Alongside Fox getting a couple of frags from True Rippers. The Rolling Thunder will be deployed to make sure
player standing.
that a clearing can be obtained. But
Ooh.
Reckoning already, with all their frags coming on point, will take one more round point to their favor. 11-6 is the scoreline. Trying to climb back up, but a little too late already, I think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's a little too late. I would say it's never too late unless you of course see it's a 1v5 in the last round. It's match point, then yes, it's too late. But until then, it's not. And look at the timeout coming in from True Rippers as well. They want to stop the bleeding before it even starts. And what the hell is this? The timer? Hello? There we go. Thank God. Okay. Valorant, what's happening with you? Getting a little weird here as we will be witnessing True Rippers come up with a tactic of their own. I think what they might end up doing is just having the Raze, you know, flush out the site now because, of course, he's got the ultimate. And while Deathmaker's satcheling is a little questionable at times, I'm going to say it as it is. He's not the best movement agent there. Yes, in the jet, maybe he can do it, but the satcheling is not his best quality. He still, of course, can wield that showstopper and jump into a site and clear it out for his team. That has to be the gameplay here. But of course, the fact of the matter is that the opponents have got a showstopper of their own, which means they can use that for the retake. So how do they take these fights is important. They need to find out where their opponent Race is and maybe try and focus and zero in on him. Try to take the fight straight to him. But it might be the case that ANQ himself might end up pushing A at the moment because there is a stack on A. I'm not quite sure if they want to actually push in, but it could be the case that the Razes have an anime battle outside of A.
Might very well happen, and would be fancy to watch. But who wins there might dictate who gets the next round as well. And if it is True Rippers, then it's already GG's for the side of Reckoning Esports. They can delay the inevitable, but not really hope to win this one. Once True Rippers is on 12, with Reckoning not being anywhere close to a double-digit number for themselves. They need to hold this next round off for another 4 rounds to be in a place to contest it. Otherwise, True Rippers might literally go berserks on them without really having to worry much about what they're really doing.
Well, they're running straight in. They're running straight in towards A. Again, it's the classic True Rippers mark. They get into a certain place and then they take map control. And now they wait. All they do now is wait. Unless maybe they want to actually go in for a bit of aggression here. ANQ, by the way, still has his ultimate alive. And so does Deathmaker. So they're going to try and keep this for as long as possible so that they find the most optimal time to use it. And there we go. True Rippers. They take control, they give out a lot of sound, and then they just shut off all communication with the opponents. That dog actually doesn't spot out anybody. The flash will, though. It does give information. There's players here. And a smoke.
But not enough.
Yeah, not enough for sure. Voya, he's got trouble, and he gets away instantly. Disrupt wants to maybe chase him down, and B is the call. Ooh, good shot, good kill, and that's the entry needed.
This is now looking much, much better for the side of True Rippers. Oh no, the showstopper. It was supposed to be shut down. Sky wasn't spotted. Techno 2 Cold have gotten the frag. But well, it does not turn out that way. However, it's equalized numbers. Retake scenario for the side of Reckoning. They have advantage now thanks to Caramel. And more thanks to A and Q. 2v4 towards the post plant.
Yep.
The plant can easily be guarded though.
Oh, Disrupt might just be out and done here. Yes, he is. Vibor still alive and he's kicking, but he cannot kick for too long. His feet will give way as the round is ending up in the favor of Reckoning. 7 rounds now on the board. They're gonna throw True Rippers onto a bit of an eco in the upcoming round. This should have been True Rippers all the way, but I'm not quite sure if Deathmaker's kill here, forgive me, he had the showstopper first up, right? He held them for so long. I think he could have just waited for that showstopper for a second more. He just did it as a reactionary thing to A and Q's ultimate to try and save his Sky there, but it was practically useless because he didn't peek out. He just stood there and waited. And while one showstopper found its value, the other didn't. And now they have a bunch of different ultimates to use still. The Killjoy lockdown seemingly like to go down towards that C site, but Caramel, he's got his own ultimate and Deathmaker takes him out at the right time.
Nicely done. This is a very good opportunity for the side of True Rippers. They have invested Seekers already, trying to get all the information that's required. And now with the lockdown coming in soon enough, they will be able to hold on to the plant super easily. And Q though, the position will spot out players. And unless he's able to find a frag, Reckoning still won't be able to hold.
You should run.
There we go. There
3v4
comes
and
the
the
ultimate.
lockdown is in. Yep.
Yeah, that's a post-plant ultimate right there. If not anything, that's gonna bite by so much time and space. Fox is probably, yeah, he's gonna get caught here. They're actually gonna stun them as well. There's nothing they can do, and Fox, he's stuck here. He probably won't be checked. And now he will be. Deathmaker makes sure to clear off that angle at the last second. Ladies and gentlemen, 12-7 match point in our faces, and that 100% record of True Rippers seemingly like to continue as the nightmares of Lotus just keep blushing in the faces of Reckoning as they are staring down the barrel of a 4th straight loss on Lotus, and this just might be the invitation to the lower brackets.
This is not looking good for the side of Reckoning. The players are already scattered about. They are going to place their Astral Stars very close to the opening, but it's not going to be of much fruit because True Rippers are not even trying to commit to that side. They have already entered in towards C. First track comes in. The lockdown will hold them off. But that's all it can do because there's still so much time on the clock for True Rippers to wait it off and go back in after a second.
Yeah, that lockdown was, look at the time, man. Why was that lockdown committed? It was
Exactly,
so
it was
early.
way early. Yep.
I'm not sure what the decision there from Voya was or from the team, but that was not at all necessary. And now True Rippers, yes, they might have been forced onto the B side, but look at this. They can just open a rotating door, go back to C. And I'm pretty sure DM spotted her, so I'm not exactly confirmed about it. But they know that the Sky is here. He's got the Boombot. He's got a grenade. He's got so much utility. All he needs to do is throw that Boombot straight direction and then follow up the grenade on the back of that reaction knob. But it's going to be the other way. Out they go. Voy has been stunned. He's been blinded. He's been flashed. And he will be flanked as well. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of Reckoning. The ultimates have been registered here. The Rolling Thunder will roll over Reckoning here pretty surely, as the last 2 members left have been left to do an impossible task. Fox is gonna try and do this at his best, but he's got no stars to work with. The Cosmic Divide, he's thinking about it. He does have a flank. Out comes the flash, and the last man standing is gonna be Fox. He will be destroyed as Lotus remains as green as it ever can for True Rippers. They will be your champions of this best of 3, and they deny Reckoning Esports any chance of making that 100% streak broken. It is going to be True Rippers to face off Orangutan in the upper bracket finals.
A very well-deserved victory for the team. They did make themselves a reverse clean sweep coming in. Losing the first map, their own choice, it felt like it's gonna be difficult for the team to find a footing. Also being on the back end towards the second map as well, somehow they managed to win it, push it to the third map, and then dominatingly close this off. Beautifully done by the players of True Rippers, giving no opportunity to Reckoning for a moment into the upper brackets. This was their last day up here. Now they're down in the lower brackets.
Yeah, Deathmaker, he was absolutely brilliant, to be honest. You know, even though his satcheling was good for the pushes, right? He got that initial movement he needed to take an early fight to catch his teammate, his opponents off guard. And he did that really well on the attack. But if we look at the highlights once and we go through what's just happened, overall, True Rippers were in complete control, including this round as well. They won the pistol really convincingly. They came in to this map with a 100% win record, and they keep it further as well. They keep it absolutely in check, as with this win, True Rippers are going to be facing Orangutan.
Well, it's gonna be a hard one, but they have already fought hard battles all along, trying to make their way up here. And Orangutan versus True Rippers, this is gonna be one interesting match to watch. Soon to come into action, but for now, this one definitely gave a lot of hopes to Reckoning all through the first half. Matches going super close. But towards the second half, Reckoning just could not find the footing that they needed, and True Rippers took it all away. All away.
Absolutely. This is going to be quite the devastation for Reckoning, ladies and gentlemen. But they had quite the run here. That first game up against Metal was one of the longest series that I've ever experienced in my life. And then more against this side of True Rippers. Bind was their map. They honestly could have gotten it done and dusted on Bind, but True Rippers' resilience is absolutely unfavoring as they get themselves to the upper bracket finals. They got themselves to map 2. They won it on a comeback, and then they finished the series also on a comeback. Absolutely amazing stuff from them, as True Rippers, they deservedly will find this win. And these were the satchels I was going to talk about from DM. He didn't need too much to do fancy stuff with the satchel. I did say that it's not the best, but he has worked it out enough to find himself those entries. He did that in the last round as well, when he took out Karamo twice in a row, forgive me, actually. He's been the forefront of his team, and he absolutely gave them the entry, the space that they needed. And then this one as well. Look at that. The kill instantly, man. So good from Deathmaker, as he is I would say he's kind of the initiator of the win. He's not just the entry fragger. He's also I would say he's sort of an initiator with 27 kills to his name.
Absolutely berserks from the side of Deathmaker. He did manage to pull the team way beyond expected. And Lotus, a map that was equally fought on all the other players from the side of Reckoning Esports, just could not match up to Deathmaker on anyone at all. The rest of the players have equal amount of frags almost, but Deathmaker just took everything in his hands and has almost double the kills that Hirsch has, literally falling short by just one.
Yep, absolutely. Oh boy, this is gonna be really heartbreaking for Reckoning, because they could have finished this game, right? Last map, Bind was theirs. How up?
Yep.
They were 11. They were also 11-6 up, 11-7 up, I believe.
11-8.
At a point, 11-8. 11-8. Yeah, they
Yep.
were 11-8 up, right? And they had the chance to actually finish off this game, but in the end, ladies and gentlemen, the resilience, the powers of their controlled, precise strategies, which only came towards the end for True Rippers, and the wake-up call of their aim has taken them all the way through to the next round in the upper bracket. Congratulations to them, but there's a bigger fish now to kill in this sea, as Reckoning will be thrown down to the lower bracket to face off, I believe, Aster Army. I'm not quite sure. I think it might be Team Sarafa, as far as I think. It should be Team Sarafa. But hey, we will be finding out in the days to come, as I believe that the one thing we do have is the next round settled in, which I believe should be beginning on the 2nd of October, if if I'm not wrong.
Mhm.
This should be on the 2nd of October, right? Yeah, I think the next match is going to be
Yeah.
on the 2nd of October, and we're going to be coming back in about 3 to 4 days. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a good break, of course, till then for the players to, recoup their strategies, come back with a little more oomph, maybe study their opponents a little better, especially for True Rippers, because they have got the strongest team in South Asia currently ahead of them. Aster Army will probably be facing off against Badua Lipa, and we will be having Team Sarafa go up against Reckoning. But for now, this is it. We hope that you've had a great time here. We hope that you will continue to come here and support your favorite teams, and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and do subscribe to do hit the notification bell, forgive me, to make sure every time we go live with these matches, you're here to witness them. We'll be back on the 2nd of October. Until then, happy gaming, happy ranking up. We'll see you all at the India Predator League 2024 in a couple of days. Bye-bye.